What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Wednesday, August 4th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. And you may have noticed the man sitting to my left, the king of cupcakes, the best college basketball handicapper I know, Maxwell Smart in the house. I'm so excited to be doing a show beside somebody, which I haven't been able to do since our last show together, pre-COVID.
Absolutely. I remember I had some A&W chicken tenders. Yeah. I dipped them in honey. They were flat. They weren't as volume as Popeyes, but they were equally delicious. And better yet, they came from Parkdale and they were delicious. So that's a bonus right there.
We are in a much nicer neighborhood right now. A beautiful, beautiful neighborhood that Max lives in. And also, I couldn't help but notice the massage parlors as I was driving up Yonge.
Oh, absolutely. Young and Shepherd is a great place to get a massage and then a little something extra. And you guys know me. I always pay for a little something extra.
Impossible for me not to notice the massage parlors. Look, I am ecstatic getting the chance to sit beside Max, whom I love dearly, and cap this MLB card. But it can't hide the fact that I lost $1,350 last night. And I had been in a really good situation where I was getting paid every Friday. And it sucks. It's a pit in my stomach. I have to talk about it. It wipes the smile right off my face. I hate that fucking feeling. I couldn't sleep last night. It just, everything I put together was wrong. It was the second offer night of the year. It was my worst night of the year, down 10.16 units. And it was a crushing blow. And it just wipes completely the smile off my face. I was so happy.
Jim, I have a theory about what happened to you last night. I think that you were a victim. I think that you were a victim of the bookies getting a wolf blood injection, and then somehow they were able to go back in time and figure out how to beat you on this. So you know what? I'm sorry. It's not your fault. The bookies are playing dirty games. They deserve nice cold cock soup, and you're going to serve it up to them today. That's what you're going to do.
I should have opened with that and then talked about how happy I was sitting beside Max, because I really am really happy to see you, buddy. And to get to do a show live with somebody is such a joy. And for that to be Maxwell Smart makes me so happy. So I'm not in control of some of the graphics. I usually try to have some control over some of the graphics. Jose's now in complete control of all the graphics, so it's going to be a tough task for Jose. Want to give a big shout out to everybody joining us today. Sammy Calmer, Raymond Reddington, play of the day. Braves team total over 4.5. Rusty Coots, play of the day is already in. Red Sox, Tigers, first 5, over 4.5. Interesting. I've already moved on the Tigers' first 5. Jose, say hey, play of the day will also be on that game. I'm very excited to have a Jose segment with you, Max, because I've got questions whether or not he cares at all. Do you think he cares? Does he care?
Oh, he cares.
Okay.
He cares.
Right.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't – it's just the lackadaisical nature of a 23-year-old.
Listen, there have been some questionable moments in his career so far, but, I think that we can give him a pass this time.
See, I like him very much. Mm-hmm. I like him very much, but sometimes he rolls in with a smile on his face after losing 4 straight and his hair not combed. And I question if he gives a shit.
It's the mustache. It puts you off.
No, the mustache is the best thing going
for me. I look at people. Jim, you know me. I'm always looking out for that next sex offender. I'm like, who are you?
Right.
You're a sex offender? You're a sex offender? But when I see that mustache, my sex offender alert goes up heavily.
No,
okay?
You make a good point.
That's what it is.
You make a good point. There's a belief that men his age aren't sex offenders. But that's not the case.
That is not the case. No. I've watched The Catch a Child Predator on MSNBC with Chris Hansen, and they have taught me otherwise.
Yeah, no, good work. Good hustle and good study. Shout out to Boston Nick in the house. Brian Watson, Billy Brisbane, Talk Sports with JT. Let's get it. 4-2 yesterday. I love it. Derek Rossi, John Schwartz, LJ Johnson, Rob Garvey, Astros first 5 in full game. Fuck, man, everything I did was wrong. Even leans I didn't bet was wrong yesterday. And it just shuts me completely down. Like I'm having so much fun talking to you, and then I start thinking about yesterday, and I get completely shut down. And my problem is, and you guys will know this, and Max, you'll know this really well from prior MLB seasons for me, is that when I have nights like this, I can't sleep. I just can't sleep. I got this pit in my stomach. I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment in Parkdale. I've got Ella and Carter and my girlfriend and I all sleeping in one room, and I go 0-9 and cost us $1,350. And look, I'm shaking, like I'm like,
well, listen, at least Carter and Ella won't be able to remember this later on in life. It's only got to worry about your girl. So, like, there is a positive in this situation.
The positive is my girl knows nothing about it.
Oh, that's even better. Let's not tell her. Let's not tell her.
Okay. David Summers, Ostino, Liggett, Puzzler in the house. Puzzler always has my back. That means so much. I love the man. You've met Canascat too, right?
Yeah.
You've met Canascat. Big Show picks. Nathaniel Montoya says the comeback better be crazy. Paco Healy. J-Rock says Cupcake Day with the bag and Maxwell Smart. YouTube Everything. CT Bays. Michael Irvelina. Real Deal Prime. Gerald Jones. There's Clint Star, the Die Hard MMA podcast. Gerardo Hernandez, Osby, Real Deal Prime, Anthony Witherspoon, K. Reed. We got Kev Reed in the house, Leroy Flood, Christopher Carter, Rodney Barton, Slats45. There are too many of you guys. Viper NB, I just thank you guys all so much for joining us. We have the spreadsheet play of the day in as well. Spreadsheet play of the day in as well. It is San Francisco -1 from our Ron Crawford. And there were some heartbreaking spots yesterday. For me, it all started with that bottom of the fifth. Twins are up 4-3 in the bottom of the fifth. I have the Twins at plus 110 first 5. There's an out and runner on and a 2-run home run. Ron Crawford lost his spreadsheet play today with that 3-run home run by the Twins on the other side. And it was kind of, I knew that Ron Crawford lost, but I also knew that Razor Sharp picks and hit his gambler's first glance. So it was I hate that Ron Crawford lost, but at least
it was like two divorced parents. You don't know which one to favor, you know?
Now that brings me back, too.
I'm there also.
Okay. Razor Sharp Pick says, Jimmy, does it smell like farts and cupcakes? You know what? This is a really nice neighborhood and a really nice spot that Max lives in. And everything's pretty sweet.
I actually made a concerted effort to conceal the farts, go over to the bathroom, maybe into Oliver's face once or twice. But, it's smelling all right in here.
It's really nice.
smelling like some pink Astro, some good illegal Canadian cannabis. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's really, really nice here. Really nice. Slatsy says you replace pigeons with Max, unlike Jim Benning. Great trade. By the way, I hate the Oliver Ekman-Larson trade, but we'll get into NHL soon. Right now, we have a giant card to break down, and I get to break it down with my man, Maxwell Smart. There's Dutch Boy Fresh in the house. Cash Money Benny back rolling with us. We haven't seen enough of Cash Money Benny. Detroit full game run line. So that would be the plus 1.5, right? Because they're dogs. Plus 1.5, -115. I'm on them first 5 at plus 115. All right, let's get to work. Matt Jennings says, where's Max hiding the night ladies? Oh, well, he pays them to leave, right?
I actually pay to leave them so that they don't hire muscle or have some guy come out of another room and smash me and then make me go to the ATM and empty my accounts. Yeah, you got to be careful, you got to be careful. COVID has made the ladies of the night sometimes a little devious towards myself. So,
Razor Sharp Picks is it true? Does Max have a blow-up doll made out of cupcakes? Max doesn't need blow-up dolls. This is a really good area for him. This is the perfect area for him.
You can get all different types of ladies of the night. So whenever you want to change your flavor of the rainbow, just got to go a different block.
Yeah, he's got a nice setup, a perfect setup. All right, let's get to work. But one last regurgitation of what happened to me last night. 0-9 down 10.16 units. Awful. Dodgers -1 was a loser. Boston, Detroit, first 5 over 5.5. They ended at 5. Minnesota, first 5 plus 110. Minnesota, Cincinnati, first 5 under 4.5 was a loser. Cubs, Rockies, first 5 under 6.5. I said that Zach Davies was my concern here, so why didn't I take Colorado? Why? I mean, what the fuck is wrong with me? Dodgers, first 5 -1/2. Milwaukee on the run line, tailing paint. And when I'm sitting there watching the game, I'm like, why am I on a team where half their bullpen, I mean, they only ended up being down one guy, but dealing with COVID bullpen issues, that really irritated me. And then Oakland was, again, a mistake, and we all make it. We have to be consciously aware of it. And I did it again last night. I was confused why the Oakland A's line didn't come out. And then it came out, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just stick with my action. And then I panic when the losers start coming in, and I double dip. Again, I doubled on the Dodgers, doubled on the A's. Two things. I said I wasn't going to be doing that right now. I didn't have to do that. Paul Buddy's Nerfic said, Jimmy, how can you hate the Larson trade? I despise that Benning keeps making the same fucking mistakes, the exact same mistakes, sticking us with a contract that lasts till 2027, getting us another 5'10" forward when we need size. We need size and strength. We need to be hard to play against. We only had one more year of those shit contracts. We only had to wait one more year, and then we give up a 9th overall draft pick. Do you think that we're a team that is ready to win now? It's absolutely horrific thinking. He's an asshole making the exact same mistakes over and over and over again. And God damn, I wish I could put on a ski mask and get a sharpened chopstick and go right to the fucking larynx. And I wouldn't cut him, but I'd let him know, you resign tomorrow or I stab you through your fucking throat with this chopstick. You resign fucking tomorrow and you never speak of this.
I could just cut him if you don't want to cut him. I got no problem. I like cutting people.
Well, you have to ski mask it.
I got money and I got a fucking bail and I got a good lawyer. I'll get off.
Well, okay.
Mental defect.
Okay, well, that sounds pretty good. I was going to just try to make him resign, but Max wants to.
Hey, listen, we got to fucking end. We got to take his livelihood away.
But it's the same fucking mistakes over and over and over again. No respect for size and toughness. You want to bring Connor Garland to our fucking top 6?
Hey, listen, you don't want to fill your team with fucking guys my size. That ain't going to win you no Stanley Cup.
All right, let's get to work. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Soupy Panty says only has 2 plays so far today. Reds first 5 and Rockies a money line. Paul Buddy's Nerfic says Canucks may be a starting goalie from achieving what the Leafs can't do in playoffs. I couldn't disagree more with the state of our hockey team. CT Bay says Mariners first 5 is my afternoon dog play. Let's get right to work, Maxie. We're starting at 12:35 p.m. The Minnesota Twins 45-62, 21-32 on the road at the Cincinnati Reds 56-51, 26-27 at home. We're at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. 77 Fahrenheit clear, 6 miles per hour sideways in. We have Charlie Barnes, the 25-year-old drafted in the 4th round in 2017 out of Clemson. He is on the bump. He had his first start of his career. He went 4 2/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, a solo shot, 1 walk, 1 K, and a 1-0 loss at Detroit in a 7-inning doubleheader. In AAA St. Paul this year, he's 5-3, 4.24 ERA, 1.35 WHIP, 63 2/3, 54 Ks, 23 walks, 1 home run. We talk often about some of these lefties that come up through the minor league system. When they first get to the show, they can be tricky. They can be tricky to figure out. And I would like to believe in both pitchers here. But it's very difficult when the Reds are hitting 272 with a 795 OPS in their last 30 days versus lefties. Twins are 253 with a 780 OPS versus righties. Both bullpens are absolutely atrocious. And the Reds are too big of a favorite right now for me. So I don't know what to do. Let me see what Max thinks, but let me send him at least a table with the odd situation that we're dealing with. This is the lone game that goes off while this show will be on. The 12:35 start. So the first 5 is sitting at 5, and the Reds are a huge favorite between -240 and -260. When we go to full game money lines and totals for this spot, we have the Reds opening up at -190. They're now -232, a 42-cent move towards them, and this total's gone from 9 to 9.5. What do you think of this spot, Maxie?
Simply, Jim, this is a price that I just cannot back a Cincinnati Red team. I cannot back Luis Castillo at that kind of number. I think that with Luis Castillo, he's done a really good job of snapping out of that early season funk. He's becoming that dominant, confident pitcher that we saw for a couple years. But I think that with this Minnesota team, there's a lot less pressure for their guys at the plate. I think that when you look at a specific batter for Minnesota, you have to give some respect to Jorge Polanco, who is on a very nice hitting streak right now of 7 games, where he has 12 hits, 5 extra base hits, and 8 runs scored. So instantly when I see that, I'm more attracted to a hitter prop. Maybe I take Jorge Polanco over half a run and over 1.5 bases. That's something I'm more looking at when I think about Minnesota because of this price. This price on the full game and even on the first 5 are driving me to the hitter props. And when we talk about Cincinnati, we're talking about Cincinnati at home during a day game. You got to look at the first 4 batters in that lineup, whether it be John India, Jesse Winker, Joey Votto, Tyler Stevenson if he's in there, or Danny Farmer. All 5 of them have the potential to cash some big plus money props for you, whether they be home runs or over 1.5 bases. That's the way I have to look at this game because of the price, Jim.
It makes total sense. It makes total sense. I think the point you make really salient about the Twins with no pressure. And their offense seems to be, they lose Nelson Cruz, but their offense is rolling. It wasn't their offense that was the issue for my first 5 last night. They put 4 runs up in that first 5 innings. Again, Gas Station talks about Molly being so predictable. If he's so predictable, how did I mess that game up? Why was I not on the first 5 over instead of first 5 under? But that's another story. Luis Castillo is pitching much better. His last start, 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 2 walks, 8 Ks, and a 7-4 win at the Cubs. Let's take a look at the baseball data here and see what we are dealing with, batter versus pitcher. We have Barnes, of course, not being seen by the Reds. And with Castillo against the Twins, they're hitting .267 with a .733 OPS. I like unders in these really early games, and I'm afraid to do that here. Both bullpens are so bad. Twins bullpen 5.23 ERA, 1.36 whip over the last 30 days. Reds bullpen 5.29 ERA, 1.48 whip over the last 30 days. And we probably have a bunch of tickets in on this spot. And we do 5,069 tickets here for us to look at. So we have 50% of the tickets and 73% of the cash on the Reds. Wow, that's surprising. 50% of the tickets on the Minnesota Twins. And that's very, very interesting. Then we have 39% of the tickets on the under and 61% of the cash on the under. I would love to try and get underneath this 5. The way these 2 teams are hitting, I'm not going to try. But if I had a free play, I would have taken that first 5 under 5. But nothing for me. Are you going to pull the trigger on any player props?
I'm going to look at Jorge Polanco over half a run and over 1.5 bases as of now. Aside from that, I would be getting on Jesse Winker over 1.5 bases and over half a double, and then Joey Votto over half a homer. The rest of the lineup, I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Big Show Picks with a $20 dono shouting out you for sharing your crib and says, good luck today, boys. Thank you.
Appreciate that, Big Show. Appreciate all the boys in the Pub Sports Radio Discord. We are banging it out, trapping and capping, and cashing. So.
I love it. I love it. We got Matty Ice in the house, and there's Razor Sharp Picks. Just found out going to be a dad for the second time. So exciting, Razor. You're going to love it. It's been very enjoyable for us as well. Okay, so no move for me on the 12:35 spot. Max deciding if he's going to pull the trigger on Polanco and Votto as we get through the show. And LJ Johnson says, any thoughts on Rays Mariners over 8? Let's break it down right now. 1:10 p.m. Eastern, Seattle Mariners 58-50, 25-27 on the road at Tampa Bay Rays, 64-44, 34-22 at home. We're at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. A couple of things came in here immediately, Max, and I had to stop them. One was, the Rays have lost twice in a row to the Mariners. Mm-hmm. So the Rays should win this game. I had to stop that. Let's not, every game has got to be an individual entity. Let's let that go. I would like to fade Logan Gilbert, only because I think this Rays offense is dynamite right now. And against the righties in the last 30 days, 266 with an 836 OPS. But if you look at all the games Logan Gilbert's been a part of, if you go through his game log, there's a W beside every one of them, at least the last 6 that I saw. So I'm hesitant to fade him, but I would like to fade him with the way the Rays are hitting righties and how the Mariners hit 215 with a 695 OPS versus lefties. And Fleming isn't a standout lefty. So that's enough for me to find a ton of concern and stay off, at least at this point. I've not moved on this spot. I'll drop more stats in a second, but let me give the odds here from Maxie and see what he thinks about this spot. We have some talk about this total sitting at 8. Ron Crawford says, love the Rays early. So let's talk about, and Sharpie says, Josh Fleming over 3.5 strikeouts. Thank me later. Hopefully Sharpie will jump on the show with us in a little bit. Okay, Brian Watson says, video, no audio. I think audio is good here, Bry, so try something else. It's on your end there. Luke Murphy says, I like the over 8 in this game. This total opened at 8, juiced to the over. It is now juiced to the under. So a legitimate market move towards the under between 6 and 8 cents. The Rays go from minus 141 to minus 150, a 9-cent move towards them. What do you think of this spot here?
Listen, I think that with Seattle, they're getting some decent hitting from a couple guys in the lineup right now. And the guy that I narrow in as a prop guy is the Houston trade acquisition, Abraham Toro. Abraham Toro is the definition of right now of fucking with your eyes open. He's hitting .417 since he was acquired, 5 extra base hits, 7 runs scored in that time. We don't have Seattle hitter props out right now. We only have Tampa Bay. But as soon as I see a lineup and I see some hitter props and an official pitcher confirmed, then I'm getting on that because this kid is rewarding you with plus 600, plus 300 doubles, plus 600 homers. That's the kind of freaking ROI that you can substantiate playing a lot of hitter props on a daily board every day. So that's a guy I'm narrowing in on. As far as the side, Jim, I think that Tampa Bay's coming back and winning this game. If Josh Fleming is going to cash Sharpie's prop of over 3.5 Ks, then I got to believe that he's going to be able to get through 5 or 6 innings and hopefully give his guys a chance to put some runs on the board. I don't really see Tampa Bay wanting to squander any more of this opportunity to take advantage of Boston while they may be slipping in the standings. It's nicer to finish as a division winner than finishing as a wild card team.
No doubt about it. It's a must-win situation. Must-win situation. CT Bay says Nelson Cruz day off, Mariners first 5. That certainly hurts their incredible stats against righties right now. Thank you, CT Bays. That's a great addition and great stats from Real Deal Prime here. Victor Carapazza sees 2.6 homers, the umpire, and 8.4 runs per game when he does the play. The Rays, if you look at them from a statistical standpoint in the last 30 days, they're a juggernaut. And you have to think, they've lost last 2 games to the Mariners. They have to win today. I'm not going to think like that. I've not been thinking like that all year. I've got to cut out whatever happened yesterday and the day before. That was a note from Gas Station Sushi that was extremely helpful, and it's been very effective for me. The Rays bullpen over the last 30 days, a 1.94 ERA with a 0.95 whip. They're in playoff form. Mariners bullpen, 3.62 ERA, 1.20 whip, converted 7 of 10 save opportunities. We move over to the baseball data against Logan Gilbert. These Rays are hitting .250 with an .838 OPS. We move over to Fleming. The Mariners, who don't hit lefties, are hitting .304 with an .882 OPS. We go over to where the cash lies in this spot. We have a ton of tickets in. Oh, no, we don't. That's the Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, and we have a ton of tickets in. 3,391 tickets here. 65% of the tickets, 85% of the cash on the Rays. And a 9-cent move towards them? So not a huge move if you think about the amount of money that's on them at this point. And then 48% of the tickets on the over, 70% of the cash on the over, and yet it's moving towards the under. There's Dommy Gun in the house. Focus on your bets. There we go. Corey Simmons, Gooch play today, Mariners money line. Clint looking at no runs first inning. I don't trust that. A Real Deal Prime saying over, over, over. Baby Yoda in the house with us as well. Real Deal Prime's on the over. Rodney Barton, great stuff from Rodney, saying over 6-1 in the last 7 meetings in Tampa. It might be another close game like the last time they both faced each other. Gerald Jones says Yellow's beaten Rays 6 or 8 times this year. I don't want that to get in my head. So basically, if I just use this as an individual entity, I'm concerned about Josh Fleming. I'm concerned a little bit about Logan Gilbert. If this was a night game, I'd be on the over. But this game pops off with the Mariners' body clocks at 10 a.m. So I'm going to do nothing.
Eventually, that trip from the West Coast to the East Coast hits you. It may not be the first. It doesn't happen the first day. It happens the second or the third day. I think that we could end up getting a lack of offense when we're expecting a whole bunch of it. That's what I'm getting worried about as we break down this game. Fleming is expected to go over his Ks. Maybe he turns in a gem. There's a ton of pressure on the Seattle Mariners to win with the trade that they just made. And obviously, as a Blue Jay fan, I want them to crash and burn like a goddamn plane flying over Iran or Russia. But
yeah, I'm going to stay off. It's look, last night really hurt, and I've got to be really I have to have a lot of strength and conviction behind my action, and I'm kind of nervous about my move on the next game. Soupy Panty says Ray's first 5 seems logical. I don't trust Fleming enough. 51 strikeouts and 82 and a third, so he can't get the Ks when he wants to. He needs to get soft contact. In his last start, he allowed 8 hits. He bent but didn't break, 3 earned runs in 5 innings against the Red Sox. Okay, so no move from me, and you're waiting for Toro props.
yes, sir.
I like it. We move on to 2:10 p.m. Eastern. Pittsburgh Pirates 41-66, 18-36 on the road at Milwaukee Brewers 64-44, 30-25 at home. We're at American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 81 Fahrenheit clear, 3 miles per hour in. And the taint play of the day is in. Tigers score first at plus 155.
I love taint.
5 of last 6 of my starts, he did not allow a run in the first, and the Tigers scored first in those games as well. Value play and love it.
Get that shit, Matt Randall. Taint master. Taint guru.
Ooh, wow.
Fuck with your eyes open, Matt Randall. Let's go.
Wow,
love
wow.
It.
A big plus 155 spot. So Turnsey is Rusty Kuntz was the first 5 over 4.5, but you can't get that number right now. So he's thinking of another play for the Rusty Kuntz play of the day. But it's important to note that was the plan. He feels like he's giving out a stale line. I'd be totally comfortable with him giving out a juiced 4.5. But now we have a taint play of the day on the Tigers plus 155 as well. I'm maybe talking over the we haven't used the taint we haven't used the our beautiful taint graphics of Mia Khalifa, and Jose can use that whenever he plans. I'll use my peripheral vision from my hockey days to see if you do give a taint. Oh, because we're not even on the Tigers game yet. Okay, so what am I talking about? Okay, so we'll drop Mia for that game. Okay, so you guys know I'm a Stephen Brault fan, and not a lot of people ever say that out loud. Not a lot of people know who he is. He was I think he was their minor league pitcher of the year in, God, was it?
Is he French?
2018? No.
Okay, good. That would maybe not like him that much more.
Hey, we have some Montrealers in our chat that are hugely important to our
Low
success.
baggers are okay. Low baggers are okay.
We have North Ender, Slatsy 45. I don't know if they consider themselves French, but they certainly are from Montreal, and we love them dearly.
I have 2 parents from Montreal, so
okay.
I think I can make the jokes.
Yeah, of course.
Damn straight. And they eliminated the Leafs, so obviously I'm bitter, very bitter.
You should be, but
borderline suicidal.
But you have a little boy fan as your general manager, so you guys are always going to be in trouble.
If I see him at the Keg Steakhouse, he's getting a glass of red wine in his face.
I like that. Viper says, how can you be a fan of so many trash players? Stephen Brault. So I went on a big run capping the playoffs with Noli Knows at the end of the year, which ended up giving me a decent season last year. But in the regular season, Stephen Brault was helping me. He was cashing me unders. He was not respected by the betting public, and he was good. 3.38 ERA last year, 1.20 whip, 42 2/3. He only allowed 2 home runs in 42 2/3. He's a shifty, tricky lefty. He's been on the shelf with a strained left lat, made 3 rehab starts in the minors. I don't think he'll go 5. I don't think he'll go 5 innings. But I like him. I think he's a crafty lefty, and I think he's going to have a decent career. And he's going up against Freddie Peralta, who is very good. 8-3, 2.17 ERA, 0.87 whip, 145 Ks in 108 innings. That's very, very impressive. Last start, 6 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 5 Ks, and a 12-0 win at Pittsburgh. Pirates versus righties, last 30 days, they're hitting them 260, 753 OPS, but that does not concern me with Freddie Peralta. The Brewers versus lefties are hitting them at a very high average, 283, but just 744 OPS. And I trust this team. I trust the pitching staff. Brewers bullpen numbers are going up right now because of their issues with COVID. 3.14 ERA, 1.20 WHIP, have converted 3 of 9. Mark Schillingberg says, Brault, sneaky good pitcher. I'm looking forward to him giving the Bucks a boost here. And remember, the Pirates hit Freddie. Well, we're going to go over all that. I'd like to drop the market for Max and hear what he is thinking in this Pirates Brew Crew spot. This total opened up at under 8.5 juiced. That's now at 8. So that's gone down. The Brewers opened up at minus 257. They're now at minus 251. A very interesting 6-cent move to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pittsburgh Pirates. There's my guy, Ed, a.k.a. Kirk, in the house. Said, what's Red's chance of getting into the playoffs? I'd have to take a closer look at that to do that offhand. But they're still playing good baseball. And at 56 and 51, they have a very realistic shot at the wild card. I don't think they're going to be able to catch the Brewers 64 and 44, but you never know. With COVID going through the Brew Crew right now, why not make a run at them? Here we go. Pirates, Brewers, Maxwell Smart. What's your look?
Well, listen, I'm going with Milwaukee. If I'm betting this side, simply put, taking them on the freaking run line, minus 1.5. Listen, after yesterday and blowing that goddamn freaking 5-run lead, that no-hitter for Hauser, how does Milwaukee not come back, fuck with their eyes open, and be the freaking hot shot thrower into the back of the freaking Pittsburgh Pirates' throat? Listen, I understand that these guys have some good numbers against Peralta. It's a small sample size. Who knows what was going on in 2 or 3 games? I think that when you look at the hitters and the hitter props for this game, if you're going to get involved with that, you got to look at Ben Gamble for Pittsburgh. He's their hottest hitter right now. I like him over half a single at plus 125. I like him over half a run at plus 125. And then when it comes to Milwaukee, the guy that's really I've become enamored with from a hitter props perspective is Willy Adames. He's been an absolute gem for this team in day games since his acquisition. And he's a guy that I have a lot of faith in hitting when he's in Milwaukee. So for him, I'm looking at over half a run and over half a single at minus 120 and plus 110 respectively.
Exciting looks. And look, I don't see the Pirates having success against Peralta. They're hitting 226 with a 663 OPS. They have 1 home run in 62 at-bats. Ben Gamble, though, 2 for 3 against him with 2 walks as well. So Gamble is a very interesting look. Against Brault, the Brew Crew are hitting 190, 476. Look, we don't really know what Brault's going to give us, and he was not extended when he was down in his 3 rehab starts. He was really short starts early, and then he went 4, I think. I think he made it through 4, or very close to 4 in his last rehab start. Turnsey says Brewers and over 6.5 alt total at minus 105. So a correlated parlay. Logan Collins in the house. Great to see you, Logan. Thank you for joining us. His huge play of the day is Marlins money line. Took them minus 1.5 at plus 275. I'm going to copy and paste that and put that right over the Marlins game. When does that one pop off here? All right. There we go at 7
o'clock.
10. Yeah. Okay. Pop that. Thank you for sharing that with us, Logan. Logan makes big boy bets. Says I was thinking about minus 2.5 at plus 450. Jeez,
damn.
I love it. Okay,
that is fucking balls of brass.
That's really exciting. And you're trusting Zach Thompson. That'll make that breakdown more exciting. Thank you for sharing that with us, Logan.
Jim, could you imagine having those types of balls and walking through a metal detector in the airport? You would be fucking taken into the private security.
I can't. My balls are so small that it's very difficult.
Yeah, I don't have balls like that either. Trust me. Yeah.
No, and
the ladies of the night tell me otherwise, but I know they're lying because I pay them.
My balls have been through a rough time. I haven't been sucked on in a long time.
Hey, listen, your son's gotta be the priority right now.
He is. Sadly, he is.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go over to where the cash lies here. We have 5,132 tickets in. So I am on the first 5 under 4.5 at minus 120, and I didn't bet it that long ago. Let's see what it is at right now. I would love to see some 4s on the board, but maybe I'm asking a little too much. So it's still 4.5. Oh, there's a 4 bet online. All right, there we go. Okay, 5,132 tickets in. 80% of the money line tickets are on the Brewers. 94% of the cash in a 6-cent move to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Very, very interesting. And then this makes me uncomfortable. 43% of the tickets on the over and 92% of the cash on the over. I really think that does make some sense, but, because of the beat-up bullpen that Pittsburgh has and that Milwaukee has. But wouldn't it make more sense just to live bet this? Because I expect the first couple of innings to be pretty clean.
Well, then you split up your bet unit. You take a little, you put a little pregame, you leave a little for live, so you're not getting overly invested in it.
I hear that. If you think the bullpens are in trouble here in an afternoon start, then why not?
Well, listen, I heard that Hader's out of the game not because of injuries, because he had a run-in with a cow. He tried to bang the cow. The cow didn't want to get banged, and now he's nursing those wounds.
Jeez, yeah, cows don't want to get banged.
Yeah, especially by freaking racist long-haired hippies like Hader.
Life of Von Polo coming to us from Charm City says, looking good, boys. Nice to have you rolling with us, Von Polo. Okay, we move on. I'm on the first 5 under 4.5 at -120. That's my first official action. And are you going to be betting Gamble at this point? Not sure you're going to decide.
Yeah, I'm taking Gamble and Adamas. Those are my two guys for this game.
All right, we move on to 3:37 p.m. Eastern. This one hurt, man. This one hurt. Padres, Oakland A's. So yesterday, I'm in bad shape, not looking good, and I have the double up. I have the first 4.5 -1/2 at +120 on the A's, and they get the one run on Minaya, and I'm like, okay, let's see. And then I was thinking, God, you see when these pitchers who have talent have a real rough start against an opponent, they see them 5 days later, they almost always pitch better. But the first batter, I think it was Laureano, I can't remember offhand, who gets on, and then Starling Marte doubles. So he's none out, runners on 3rd and 2nd. I'm like, no, I'm in business, baby. I'm in business. That's the last fucking time I said that last night. Oakland Coliseum, Oakland, California, 58 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 10 miles per hour, out to straight away center. We have Joe Musgrove and Frankie Montas. And I do believe that we have a special guest joining us.
Ooh,
here.
A special guest?
Very special guest.
I like special guests.
Is
it a local stripper?
No. I could have put that. If I didn't lose $13.50 last night, maybe that would have been on the table.
Can I guess one or two more times?
Sure. Take another guess.
Is it someone bringing me chicken tenders?
No, sadly, that's not the case.
Is it someone that likes to have sex with 350-pound women?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Nice. This is a bonus.
Guapo man.
Guapo man.
He looks like he was just 10 fingers deep in one. Wow.
What's going on? Have you been slaying BBWs as hard as you can?
It's the man who taught me how to fuck with my eyes open since I was 12 years old. Maxwell fucking Smart. Fellas.
Damn fucking straight.
He sent me my mountain climber equipment for Christmas, and I've been hooked and strapped to a BBW since.
Oh, that is what I like to hear, Sharpie, because you know what? I see that clock there. Can you just reiterate what time it is and what time it always is?
Always 3:50 mountain time in this house, because if it ain't 3:50, no need to see the titty.
Exactly. And what is that line that you use? We don't fuck the same.
We don't bet the same. We don't fuck the same. And we don't smoke the same.
Damn fucking straight. You the man. You the man, Guapo man.
We here to talk K-props.
We'd rather just hear you talk about banging giants.
And cashing tickets, fellas. I'm back on my streak, bro. If you read the write-up, I fucking wrote it right. 7 Ks, 5 innings. Got it, bro. And we cast with them Astros plus money tickets. If I'm betting against my team, you better jump on, fellas. But Musgrove over 5.5 at -104. His last 5 games, he's only 2-3 to the number. That's not good, guys. But if you break it down, 2 of those games are versus the Nationals. Nationals are the bottom 5 team versus strikeouts. They only strike out 16% of the time. That's even with their trades. They're still bottom of the league, guys. Oakland, since the All-Star break, they're walking 6%, bro. That's league minimum, bro. Average is 8%, and they're striking out at a 25% clip. So when I see a 6% walk, I'll bump up that strikeout rate, guys, because that means they're swinging freely. And that means I'll get that extra 1 or 2. So if I get 5 innings, I get 6 strikeouts. Musgrove hasn't gone 5 innings but 2 times over the last 7 games. I think today he goes 5-6 innings, easily gets that 6 strikeouts.
I like it.
Joey Musgrove, 7-7, 2.94 ERA, 0.98 WHIP, 116 in the third, 134 Ks, 29 walks, 13 homers. Last start was a beauty. 11 Ks and 7 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, and a 3-0 win at home over the Rockies. Then we got Frankie Montas on the bump, 9-8, 4.08 ERA, 1.25 WHIP, 132 Ks and 119 innings, and he's also coming off an excellent start. So both these pitchers coming off 7 innings of no-run baseball, and both these pitchers coming off double-digit strikeouts. There's Noli Nose in the house, says Sharpie. Love the work. Padres versus righties over the last 30 days, 271 with an 814 OPS. A's versus righties. And this is probably a big part of the thought process for Sharpie. Versus in the last 30 days, A's are hitting just 212 with a 619 OPS versus righties.
I can tell you this, Jim.
Sure.
Sharpie, you're not going to like this, but your boy Musgrove is going to give up a single to my guy Elvis Andrus today. Over half a single plus 120.
Get it, bro. Hey, he can get up, hits, runs, all that shit. As long as he gets my strikeouts, we both can eat, my friend.
All right. We can both eat off the same plate. It's all good. And just want to shout out someone in the chat. Long Beach's finest, the master Jedi of unders, the man who makes unders great again. Noli knows yours is probably better than mine. There's no question about it.
Okay. All right. Interesting spot here. And I'm clearly warped from what I saw yesterday and still really, really angry. This first 5 total sitting at 4, and the A's at minus 125 to minus 130 favorites. First 5 favorites like that. Seems like there would be some value on the road squad first 5, but these A's have okay numbers against Musgrove, 286 with an 815 OPS, and okay numbers versus Frankie Montas, 250 and 917 OPS. What do you think? These guys just went 7 innings each, double-digit strikeouts, not allowing a run. Is this a spot where they could be a little bit vulnerable to get to that first 5-4, or is this a spot where the Padres first 5 at plus money of value? Well, which is a value, but a possibility here?
I got to look at the Padres plus money in the first 5. I'm a Blue Jay fan. The Blue Jays are trying to catch Oakland. Fuck Oakland. I hope that they fucking crash their freaking goddamn golf carts.
Let's check out where the cash lies in this spot. Sharpie, what do you think about side total? I know you don't like double dipping here unless it's a giant that we're talking about.
I double dipped yesterday with the Astros, and I was tripled up yesterday on that Astros game. But right here, no one has more than 10 at bats versus these pitchers. So to me, that doesn't mean much. I like to see 15 to 20 at bats. You only had 2-3 games versus these pitchers. You don't know if they had their A game or not those days. So I like more than 10 at bats when I see sample sizes.
And there's not a lot of that on today's slate. The pitchers definitely are going to have the advantage when it comes to familiarity.
2,471 tickets in. 47% of the tickets, 40% of the cash money line on the Padres. 46% of the tickets and 77% of the cash on the over. I don't think it's too difficult here, especially with what great starts these two are coming off, to get to that 4. I think 4 is a pretty easy number to get. I shouldn't say easy.
I'm always skeptical when it comes to Oakland's offense performing when I expect them to perform. That's my issue.
That is a legitimate issue for sure. And Barry Smith also BBW lover. You guys have.
Hey, listen, I've been recruiting them at softball turns E4 Sharpie for when we can sneak him across the border to Canada. I'm going to make a bunch of money because I'm going to charge these BBWs to have the fucking guapo man fucking enter their lives.
I am God's gift to BBWs, guys.
You are.
It's not
You
the other
are.
way around. I am there to freaking give them the best time of their life.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I
And
respect that.
an inexpensive time of their life. Yeah.
Yes, I've been paying like $40 at a freaking bar and McDonald's to get laid, bro.
I love it.
You give back to the community, Sharpie, and it means the world. It means the world.
Jim, shout out to Talk Sports with JT. He's on the San Diego Oakland no run first inning -115. When JT is on a no run first inning or a run in the first inning, guys take note. That's a winner right there.
Space Guard Ghostman says there's excessive heat in California. The sun is hard, especially for a noon game.
I live out here. It's 93 degrees, guys. It sucks ass right now for us.
Okay, I'm just going to leave some question marks then beside that first 5/4. Maybe it makes no point to move on it. Okay, and if you had a free bet, Sharpie, on a first 5, would you be backing the dog in the Padres?
Yeah, or I'd probably take them plus the half run just in case it was a 2-2 tied game type thing.
All right, great stuff from Guapo Man. Any last words for your friend Guapo?
Sharpie, it's a pleasure watching you slay these BBWs, taking that Mountain Co. climbing equipment and using it like the expert climber you are. You are the harpoon master. You are the BBW slayer. And skinny women all over the world wish that you wanted to bang them instead.
Oh, well put. Well put. Well put. Sharpie, where can we find you on Twitter, my man?
You can find me at Sharpie's Bets or at your local beach picking up all them whales.
There he is. Right
Damn.
there. There he is. There he is. Right there. Man. He's a good man.
Yes, absolutely.
There is your afternoon action. And for me right now, I only have the first 5 under 4.5 in the Pirates Brewers spot. So that would be, I think, my best spot in the afternoon. And is there a prop bet or angle in the afternoon games that you like the best?
I would actually say that if Austin Nola plays for San Diego and starts today, he's a guy that I'm going to have to get on. He's on an 8-game hit streak in the last 4 games that he started with 2 doubles. So over half a single would be my play. And obviously all these single bets are available on Bet365. So if you can get over there and bet with them, do that until they kick you off. I haven't been making any money off them lately, so they've been letting me bet.
We move on to 7:05 p.m. Eastern, our first night action. Baltimore Orioles 38-68, 21-37 on the road at the New York Yankees, 57-49, 28-24 at home. We're in the Bronx, baby. 73 Fahrenheit, overcast, 8 miles per hour in. And Batman is who we used to laugh at. Matt Harvey coming off his 3rd straight runless start. And his ERA is still 6.20. And his whip is still 1.54. You know, the brass in Baltimore, I know they don't have a lot of cash to work with, but they got to feel good about the job they've done with Matt Harvey here. Just 27 walks and 94 1/3. He's pitching very well. His last start was at the Tigers. He went 6 1/3, 6 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 5 Ks, and a 4-3 win. Going up against Jameson Taillon, 7-4, 4.11 ERA, 1.24 whip. 102 thirds, 98 Ks, 31 walks, 16 home runs. We cashed on him in his last start. Went 5 2/3, 5 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks, and 3-1 win at the Marlins. You know, he came in off of Tommy John. He basically hadn't pitched in 2 years, and he seems to be rounding into form right now. Orioles versus righties last 30 days, 226, 678 OPS. Only team doing worse is the Yankees, 201, 609 OPS. Should we trust those numbers against righties when they've brought in Rizzo and Gallo? And I don't know. Orioles bullpen last 30 days, 5.38 ERA, 1.41 whip, converted 3 of 5. Yankees bullpen, 4.85 ERA, 1.28 whip, have converted 8 of 13. Let's set a table for Max and see what he thinks here. This first 5 total sitting at 5. And by the way, that 5 was juiced to the over, and now it's a straight pick'em at Pinnacle. So we go to full game money lines and totals here. CT Base says only Stan really hits Harvey. First 5 under, and Sean on Orioles first 5. Now, I've got this funny thing here, and I'm just going to say it out loud just because that's already in my subconscious, is that when starters have had 3 really nice starts in a row, how often, and I don't have numbers in front of me to prove it, but that 4th start doesn't go nearly as well. Now, if we're talking about Jacob deGrom, it's totally different. But I mean, just like a regular everyday starter who goes on a 3-start run, it's very hard to make it 4 straight. Let's set a table for Max here. The Yankees opened up at minus 260. They're now minus 257. There's total at 9.5. There's been an 8-cent move to the under. It's now juiced at minus 114. Maxie, take it away. Orioles, Yankees.
Yeah, this is another situation where you don't want to be messing with Baltimore's bullpen if they're going to do you right. And I got to look at and agree with the guys in the chat with Dom and CT Bays and all these guys. They're saying that they're taking Baltimore first 5 and they're taking that first 5 under. I think for me, I agree with the thinking and the logic behind both plays. And when you look at Baltimore, the only thing that really has me standoffish a little bit is the fact that the Yankees have dominated this Baltimore team regardless of year, regardless of field that they're playing at. And I just think that this is a game where the New York Yankees definitely, the number doesn't make sense to take them, but their recent success over Baltimore is really hard to ignore. For me, I really can't trust any Yankee hitters on a game-to-game basis for hitter props, but there is one guy in this game, actually 2, Ryan Mountcastle and Cedric Mullins for Baltimore. Cedric Mullins is on a 12-game hitting streak. He has 18 hits in that time, 6 extra base hits, and he's only struck out 7 times. So he's putting the bat on the ball the way that I like to at softball. I call it pigeon killing, and I regularly quote pigeon killing as a dedication to my friend Jimmy the Bag here, because he has to walk out onto his balcony and witness the horror that are Parkdale pigeons banging. Okay? So his family does not deserve that. And this guy, Cedric Mullins, if he was a Toronto Blue Jay, he'd be killing pigeons for Jimmy also.
Yeah. Pigeons have no class either. They're banging. They're stepping on their own. They're standing in their own shit while banging.
Yeah, it is absolutely disgusting, and that's why we need to kill them with softballs.
I find it interesting that we're getting a 5 here. I both pitchers are pitching so well. The only concern is, when is this Yankees lineup going to wake up? We go to the baseball data here, Max, and Kion. The Orioles are 3 for 20. Now, 2 home runs, Mullins and Santander. So 3 for 20. Not a big sample size, but 3 for 20. And then when we go to Harvey, they're hitting 176 with a 633 OPS against them. So he's getting these guys out. Let's see where the cash lies in this spot here. We have, where are we? Here we go. 3,240 tickets in. 75% of the tickets, 96% of the cash on the Yankees. 58% of the tickets, 81% of the cash on the over. Nolio says Yankees games have stayed under 10 of 13. Christopher Comtini agrees, no class. Yeah, it's just hideous. There's Jordy Nordman in the house, our guy Nordy. Great to see you. So Real Deal Prime thinks a low-scoring game here. Christopher Comtini says a game like yesterday might have got the Yankees unstuck. CT Bay says Mullins hits a solo shot. Orioles up 1-0 after 5. Brian Watson says, are Yankees in a playoff spot right now? No, they're
chasing the wild card spot.
Yeah, they're not even in the second wild card spot. No,
Oakland has it. Yeah.
YouTube Everything says Orioles, baby. Dutch Boy Fresh says somehow managed to watch a full Yankees game last night. They were raking. I feel the bats have awoken. Yankees team total over 5.5. If I brick, I blame it on the makers. Orioles under 8 of the last 12. So I guess I guess I need to trust here what we're seeing from these two pitchers. Stay away from the bullpens. Go to the first 5.
Yeah, the best thing you can do, in my opinion, when it comes to betting sides in baseball is to cut down the game as much as you can. Make it as take away that advantage for the books as often as you can. It's going to be best for your ROI.
We have the wind helping us 8 miles per hour in right now in the Bronx, and God, I can imagine how far this has come. I'm going to be adding the first 5 under 5 in the Orioles Yankees game. Imagine me sitting here trusting Matt Harvey, but I was not fading him all year. I faded him twice really early in the year, and then I stopped fading him. And part of it was that these Orioles just kept putting them out there.
And his added velocity. He's up hitting 96, 97 on the regular. It's not like he's just hitting in the first inning. He's hitting in the 4th and 5th also.
Stimmy OG has his lady Stimmy on the under 9.5. Okay. First 5 under 5 is an addition. Christopher Commenty says, take with a grain of salt. Lopez just shut them down the day before. And you guys know, I know Viper knows that Jorge Lopez is not a fan in me.
He's an enigma. He's an enigma. Listen, I'm not calling the sex offender hotline on him.
Good.
But if he starts costing you money, maybe I do.
Gas Station Sushi top plays Marlins, Astros, Cards. Marlins, Astros, Cards. All right, let's move on to a bet I did make. And I think maybe I'm simplifying things too much. Chase Anderson, child molester.
Hey, listen, I would not doubt it. I would not doubt it. Have you seen the head on the guy? Yeah, those eyes, they fucking reek of fucking child pornography.
Philadelphia Phillies 54-53, 23-32 on the road at Washington. Nationals 49-58, 29-28 at home. Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. 75 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 8 miles per hour. And I'm on the Nats first 5, -115. A simple fade of Chase Anderson here. I do not believe him. I do not trust him. We saw him in the Blue Jays uniform. Almost called the cops on him several times. Paulo Espino on the bump for the Nats, and maybe I trust him too much. I'm a little nervous. He's really looked good this year. 3.08 ERA, 1.04 WHIP, 61 in the third. Has allowed 9 home runs, 46 Ks to 11 walks. His last start was nice. He's a pitcher that bends but doesn't break. 5 in the third, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 6 Ks in the 4-3 win at home versus the Cubs. Phillies are hitting righties hard over the last 30 days. It gives me some pause. 257 with a 781 OPS. Nats first righties, 268, 754 OPS, and we know that number is going to be dropping. The Phillies bullpen over the last 30 days, 4.33 ERA, 1.49 WHIP, have converted 5 of 8. Nats bullpen, 6.39 ERA, 1.57 WHIP, have converted 5 of 14 over the last 30 days. And there's Twate Latte in the house. Great to see you, Twatty. All right, let's set a table for Max and see what he's thinking here. Nationals, Phillies. This first 5 opened at 5. It's now at 5.5. And the full game money lines and totals for this spot opens at 9. So interesting. Oh no, that's just sports interaction. Opens at 9, and Pinnacle's moved it to 9.5. They're the first book to move it. Oh, no, Bet365 has moved it to 9.5 as well. So 2 books have moved the total to 9.5. The Nationals opened up at -108. They're now -109, a 1 cent move towards them. Max, take it away. What do you think here, Phillies, Nationals?
Listen, I think that with the Phillies, they're hard to really get down with on a regular basis. I got to rely on my guy, Billy Brills, to fucking let me know when I should be getting on or off of them. This is an offense that definitely has the name power when you look at them on a lineup card, but the results just haven't been that consistent. When I look at Philly nowadays, I have to look at Gene Segura. I love him in that leadoff role. He hit a homer the other day. I think that he definitely has some value for looking at some hitter props, but then I got to look at someone a little lower down in the lineup, and that's Alec Bohm. This is a guy that's just consistently put the bat on the ball, gone on base, taken it the other way. He has very good play coverage, and he's the kind of guy that I like to get on a singles prop. So I'll be looking to get on him. I'm sure that I'll get a plus 110 to plus 120, being that he is still relatively unknown to the books. And a guy that averages more than a hit a game is a guy that always is attractive to me for betting hitter props.
I like that breakdown. I like that breakdown. A lot of people think there could be offense in this game. We got Chef Jeff in the house, Ski Prophet, Mr. Gokester, Trey Doug, and Gambler's First Glance. Razor Sharp Picks. Gambler's First Glance is in, and it is the Cardinals plus 110. So we have Razor Sharp Picks and Gas Station Sushi on the Cardinals.
Let's go, Razor. Yo, did you know that Razor was eating some homemade delicious cupcakes that actually made my mouth water? I had to watch the 10-second clip of it over and over again because I was like, why can't I have that cupcake? I want that cupcake. God damn it, Razor. Still thinking about it.
Did he bake those cupcakes himself?
I believe that. I don't believe that he did. I can't confirm this. I'm not saying that men can't make cupcakes, but let's be brutally honest. The best cupcakes are made by the better gender.
Yeah, and the bigger ones too make the best ones.
Oh, of course.
And Guapo Man knows all about that.
Yeah, of course. Guapo likes those clean big ones.
Baseball data here. We have Chase Anderson against the Nats, 9 for 46, 196 with a 564 OPS. And the way I see that is that's not the Chase Anderson of now. The Chase Anderson of now can't be trusted. So I did sort of put a line through that. That's not worked so well this year, putting a line through the baseball data. Paolo Espino, though, really nice numbers. They're 6 for 26 with just 2 extra base hits against Paolo Espino. And then we'll take a look and see where the cash lies in this spot. We have 3,139 tickets in. 57% of the tickets, 65% of the cash on the Phillies. We don't have the cash on the total right now, but just 58% of the tickets on the over. 58% of the tickets on the over, and we've seen that go from 8.5 to 9. Twatty best bet. Detroit Tigers plus 1.5 at minus 120. Rusty Kuntz plays in now. He says the line's gone stale, and I respect that very, very much because he is on that first 5 over 4.5. That was going to be the Rusty Kuntz play today in the Tigers Red Sox game. He's now moved to Vladdy over 1.5 bases at minus 118. Vladdy Guerrero over 1.5 bases.
That, Jim. I like that a lot. That is a cupcake play of the day type fucking play. Turnsy, you're gonna be fucking with your eyes open. I can tell.
Oh, that's exciting for him. That's exciting for him.
Absolutely. Well, we have to hope that he fucks with his eyes open because he had a terrible Popeyes experience. He rated a 3.5 out of 10.
Jesus.
Yeah. You know, I would have gone over to that manager. I'd been like, listen, you cannot freaking try and charge my guy Turnsy 25 cents for a goddamn pack of honey. That ain't acceptable.
No, that's good. You can yell louder than that. I know you can. I know you got it in you.
Absolutely. Of course I
know
can.
you got it in you.
Of course
so
I can. Save it for
Jose.
I save it for the softball diamond, to be quite
You
frank.
know what? No, save it for Jose. Scream in Jose's face for
Well, as long as there's nothing in his mustache that resembles hair gel, we'll be good.
So I am on the Nats first 5 at minus 115. We move on. And perfect timing from our Turnsy. Rusty Kuntz play of the day. Vladdy over 1.5 bases at minus 118 on Pinnacle.
I like it.
Yeah, there he is.
Like
there. Of all Rusty's cunt. That's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. That big smile. Of course, he got a big smile. Just resting casually on Rusty's cunt. Just beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Cleveland Indians 52 and 52, 26 and 29 on the road at Toronto Blue Jays, 55 and 49, 26 and 23 at home. Renee Tato says, what's the dirty K? You missed it, Renee. It was an impressive performance by Guapo Man. He's on Musgrove over 5.5 Ks at minus 104, and you'll have to watch it again if you want to dream.
I think you should watch it 3 times, Renee, because Guapo Man is Guapo Man. Nobody like him.
Nobody like him. No one smokes like him. Nobody fucks like him.
No.
Nobody bets like him.
No, nobody does.
Steven Matz, I think, is vulnerable. 8 and 6, 4.58 ERA, 1.38 WHIP, 90 and a third, 91 Ks, 25 walks, 13 home runs. I thought he was vulnerable in his last start, and it was a 7-inning doubleheader, but we faded him and we succeeded. He went 3 and a third, 9 hits, 4 earned runs, 0 home runs, 1 walk, 2 Ks, and a 4-1 loss at Boston in a 7-inning doubleheader. Indians versus lefties, 237, 751 OPS. So you can trust it if you want. But JC Maya, he's got to be vulnerable too. My first thought was, why am I not on this first 5 over? But it was moving towards the under. Let me see if that is continuing here. Full game, it's gone from 10 to 9.5. And first 5 here is still just juiced to the under. So there's been a 2-cent move to the under. It's at 5.5. Loshak talked about his uncomfort with overs in Rogers Center. That was the Sky Dome, especially when the roof is closed. I don't expect it to be closed today. 75 Fahrenheit clear, 6 miles per hour out to left center. Lance LaRose says should be some runs scored. I get that. Jays are hitting 264, 801 OPS against righties. Indians bullpen 4.20 ERA, 1.28 WHIP have converted 6 of 13. Jays bullpen 4.54 ERA, 1.25 WHIP have converted 3 of 5. Let's set a table for Max. I've already told you that the total is juiced now to, well, it's gone from 10 to 9.5, and the first 5 is juiced to the under. Tell me what you think of that first 5 total. And the Jays go from minus 207 to minus 202, so a 5-cent move towards the Cleveland Indians.
I don't like the price on the Jays, but if you're going to twist my arm, I'm going to take the Jays. We're in a run to make the playoffs. We can't afford to blow games, and we got a right-hander going up against a team that hits right-handers. When you look at the Jays, I think that being home, they're going to be a lot more comfortable. They're going to be sleeping in their own beds. They're not sleeping in hotels. They're getting comfortable with the city, going to their favorite spots. Those creature comforts help baseball players. It may not work for other professional sports, but I don't care what anyone says. I do think it works for baseball players, and I think that they're going to get more comfortable at home. I think that when you look at this lineup, I think that the batting order is fantastic. I love George Springer and Vladdy being bunched together at the top of the line. Let's maximize their at-bats. And I think that when you look at the bottom of the lineup, and Santiago Espinal and Reese McGuire, when he's behind the plate, have done a fantastic job of turning this lineup over and getting those guys those extra at-bats. When you have a team that does that, I'm not stepping in their way. So as far as a side, I'm looking at the Jays. I'm not looking at anything on the total. But when it comes to hitter props, I'm looking at George Springer, who's on a 6-game hit streak with 3 home runs and 11 hits. And I'll be looking to take advantage of that again. And then when it comes to Cleveland, obviously I got a lot of sentiment with ex-Blue Jays, and this is another ex-Blue Jay, Harold Ramirez, playing left field, playing third base, playing all over for Cleveland. But what he is doing is hitting the goddamn baseball. So over half a single with Harold Ramirez, over 1.5 bases with George Springer. And if you want to get fancy and you're up and you got that plus bankroll to work with, then you hit that home run prop, because George is coming and he's going to earn that money that we paid him.
I like it. I think it all makes sense. And I have a hesitation to go. My ROI is bad on first 5, over 5.5s. Always sticks in my head. I always think about 6 runs is not easy to get in the first 5. But here, Steven Matz, they're hitting 3 for 26 against Matz with 3 singles.
I think that's definitely something to take note of, but I don't think that it's something that just completely convinces me that Matz locks it down. This is a contact hitting Cleveland team with Rosario at the top of the lineup. You got young guys like Miles Straw now leading off after getting acquired from Houston. This is going to be a game that the Jays bats have to come and back Matz up, because if you're relying on Matz to give you 6 or 7 strong with 1 or like no earned, I just don't think that's realistic.
Yeah, I don't trust Matz here, but I think the numbers are not, also the fact that we look at the tickets here and we have 3,707 tickets in, and of those 3,707, we have 55% of the tickets, 62% of the cash on the over, and yet it's dropped. 70% of the tickets and 90% of the cash on the Jays. I get that. Paul Muddy's Nerfix says Matt's good versus bad teams, bad versus good teams. That's well put. You're right there. Turnsey says Vladdy's raking today after being one of the only guys not to hit yesterday. I like it. Jose, we have Turnsey's Rusty Kuntz play today. Vladdy over 1.5 bases at minus 118. Vladdy Guerrero Jr. over 1.5 bases minus 118. Can we see his smiling face resting on Rusty Kuntz's gun? Isn't that nice? Look at him, big smile there. Just resting so casually, so comfortably there. Yeah. Just at peace. He's just at peace there. right there, just at peace, with the back of his neck resting on Rusty Cunt's old cunt. God, that's nice. Could just stare at that all day, couldn't I? But we move on.
No, you must not.
We move on. We move on to what was going to be the Rusty Kuntz play of the day. The Red Sox Tigers first 5 over 4.5. Red Sox Tigers first 5 over 4.5 was the plan, but he didn't want to give out a stale line, and I respect that enormously out of our man, Turnsey, pride of Windsor, Ontario. And then we get to the taint play of the day. The taint play of the day. Do you mind if I take a look at this gorgeous graphic of Mia? Please, Jose, drop it one time for us. A lot of magic happens on that couch.
That is the kind of...
I see a couch like that, I just think Guapo Man now.
Well, I get a half chub and I think about ladies of the night that I've been with recently because I got short-term memory loss from marijuana use.
That doesn't sound like too bad of a thing.
Yeah.
Eduardo Rodriguez, 7-6, 5.60 ERA, 1.41 WHIP, 99 2/3, 121 Ks, 28 walks, 14 home runs. Last start, he got lit up at home to the Jays. It was a really easy spot. We had Hyunjin Ryu on the other side. 3 1/3, 7 hits, 6 earned runs, no homers, 4 walks, 8 Ks, and a 13-1 loss at home to the Jays. Going up against Casey Mize. Now, look, I made a mistake. You guys know I've been all over Casey Mize in the beginning of the year. But when there started being rumors about a pitch limit, or innings limit, I should say. And the Tigers are saying there's not really an innings limit. We don't have a fixed innings limit for him, but clearly they were thinking about it. I thought the Casey was thinking about it, but his last start was a thing of beauty. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 2 Ks, and a 6-2 win at the Orioles. I love when these younger pitchers realize they don't need to have double-digit strikeouts to have a spectacular start. And we saw that from Miguel when he starts doing that for the Mets. When these young pitchers know that, I just feel like they're really pitching within themselves and they're at the top of their game. I think Casey Mize is at the top of his game right now. And we've had people in the chat. Brian Watson says Red Sox are slumping. Tony Baste says Red Sox bats stink. And there's truth to that. This is a lineup that we have a vividness bias of them smashing the ball against righties over the last 30 days, 234 with a 727 OPS. Tigers versus lefties last 30 days, 294 with an 804 OPS. Noli Nose is on the first 5 under 5. The first 5 under 5. I'm on the Tigers first 5 at plus 115. I like this spot. I'm certainly not going to get overly confident after what happened to me yesterday. The Red Sox bullpen over the last 30 days, 4.03 ERA, 1.21 WHIP, have converted 6-7 save opportunities. The Tigers bullpen, 4.56 ERA, 1.37 WHIP, have converted 7 of 11. And the taint play of the day, Tigers score first at plus 155. And that's a big plus line for Taint. He says 5 of last 6 of my starts, he did not allow a run in the first, and the Tigers scored first in all those games as well. Value play and love it. Here we go, Max. I'm going to set you a table with the odds that we're dealing with. This total opened up at 9, minus 109 to the over. So there's been a 2-cent move back, very small. And Boston opens up at minus 155. They're now minus 148, a 7-cent move towards the Detroit Tigers. Turnsey says, you look like you crank softballs 300 yards. Max, take it away.
Well, Jim, first off, let's be transparent like we are on this show. Sure. I do not crank softballs that hard. I am a directional hitter. I put it where I want to. I try and put it where there isn't a person.
Sure.
But I am working towards that. I'm going to get some steroids. Nice. I'm going to get some human growth hormone.
I like it.
And I'm going to be fucking cranking those things out next year.
Yeah. Man.
But I will say this, when I look at this fucking Boston-Detroit game, there's a lot of mixed emotion. First off, we know that Jose is a Boston fan. So instantly right there, it's like red from a bull. Steam coming out of my ears, steam coming out of my nose. Like, fuck Boston.
I like your energy right now, and I want you to yell in Jose's face because this is the Jose Say Hey play of the day that you perfectly introduced, and I don't know if you meant to. Here he is. Look at that smile without a mustache. What kind of clown is he? He puts that mustache on. He gets immediate respect. And if he shaves that mustache, he's fired. Please welcome to the show, Jose, and that gorgeous mustache.
Look at that mustache.
Oh, it's nice.
There's nothing gel-like resembling in it, so that's good.
No, he's cleaned it.
Yeah. All right. Because like yesterday, there was a little something there. I was like,
sure, a sign
is
of
that
semen.
hair gel or is that something else?
Sign of semen.
If
Probably.
it was semen, that would be wrong, Jose.
Yeah.
That would be wrong.
Yeah.
Even if it was lady semen, you should always wipe that off your mustache.
I don't think they call it semen. If it's like, I think they call it goosh.
Okay, goosh, as it's like to be called on this channel.
Jose, my friend.
I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Jose, my friend. Red Sox, Tigers. You have a rich history of spectacular mustaches and fading Eduardo Rodriguez. Is that your plan today?
No, it is not. I'm going to put some faith into both of these pitchers. Eddie has had a bad time this year. He's had some unfortunate starts. He's had some bad luck, to be honest with you. It hasn't all been him. Last start was against the Blue Jays. Maxwell, I'm learning you are, in fact, a Blue Jays fan and you hate the Red Sox. Hand up, I'll admit, Blue Jays offense is very good. Blue Jays offense is fantastic. You can't take anything away from that. Eduardo struggles against it. Shit happens. Start before that, we had migraines, which was really weird. And then the start before that, it was against the Yankees. No earnings, 8 Ks. I think he comes back. I think he comes back to being a good pitcher. And I think Casey Mize does a good job today, too. I think both these guys throw well in the first 5 innings. So Sharpie, I believe, was on the over first 5. I was on the under. He asked me about it earlier. It went up to 5, and that was even better for me. I'm taking the first 5 under 5.
So hold on, Jim.
Sure.
Did I just hear that he's going against Guapo Man?
Yes, you did.
Did my ears fucking lie to me? Jose, come on, bro.
He better
You're going against Guapo Man?
He better hope.
He fucks 350-pound women.
He better hope that Helga's skinny.
He's doing fucking community work, bro.
He better
God
hope
damn
that
it.
Helga is skinny.
Wow. Jose, if I had a
it was
chicken
actually
tender with honey
Turnsey, too,
mustard,
by
I
the
would
way.
slap you right now with it.
I would eat that chicken tender, too, by the way.
As
I would
long as
let
you
you
keep
slap
the
it
honey
with.
mustard on it. No honey
Yes, that is-
mustard.
Well, the honey mustard, I'm a big honey mustard guy.
Oh
so.
my God, Jose. Come on. I'm trying to like you here.
Okay, Sharpie says, what? I'm not on this game. I believe
It was Turnsey. I
It was
apologize.
Turnsey. Rusty
Okay.
Kuntz.
All
Okay,
right.
Rusty
That changes
Kuntz.
the
I say Rusty.
situation.
Yeah, so I think we should see it again, by the way. That makes my day seeing it every time.
Just resting there.
Yeah.
Resting
Yeah.
right on his cunt.
It's a good graphic.
That's
It's
nice.
a good graphic.
Jose, the first 5 under 5. What's the juice at?
Jamie, that's an excellent question. I'll look that up for you right now. Let me give me a refresh. It's under 5 at -114. I'm going to refresh the page real fast. Yeah, I got it under -114. So starting off the week with 2 juicy lines. I lost yesterday by the skin of my taint, as they say. So we'll see.
We have a question that's being posed by a very esteemed colleague of ours. Noli No says, how should I feel when Jose and I are on the same play?
Noli, Daddy, we're rolling.
Panic! I would panic too. Panic!
We're rolling, Noli. You know, we're on the same side. We're having a great day. We're having a great day, and
Maybe you
it's
need
gonna work out.
buying off. You may need to buy off.
Might want to buy off
You
this
may
one.
need to buy off.
I'm coming back.
Okay.
I'm so close to the black, guys. I can
Put
see
the
it.
record on. Put the record on. Let's see.
Yeah,
the
it's right
record.
there. Yeah, it's right there. I'm
Oh
close.
my God, you're fucking bankrupting people. Holy shit. -9% ROI? Come on, bud. You can do better than that.
I wouldn't
Well,
say
you know, we're
4.38
grinding.
units is close to the black, Jose. Jose, can you answer this once and for all? Do you care?
Do you love the people
I
in
do
the chat?
care.
Do you love the people?
I
in
love
the
them
chat?
dearly.
Do you want
Max-
to win for them?
Max, I think I need some motivation from you. I'm not going to
You know
lie. I'm
what?
feeling kind of
Listen,
down
Jose,
today.
I think that you need to freaking dip your chicken tenders in honey and not honey mustard. That's how you start off, okay?
You just took him.
Okay.
All right, then you go to the local strip club and you support local strippers. They need your money, okay? They need all of our money.
Okay.
Once you do that, you come back to me and I will freaking take you.
Whew. Well, there we go. Oh,
It's
there we
up
go.
night.
Hold on. There we go. We're back.
There we go. All right. We got the right
There we
box now.
There's some really
Right.
inspiring comments, Jose, from the chat.
Oh boy.
Viper
I'm scared
says,
now.
I say we fire him from the show. Christopher
Okay.
Comentini says, send Jose home to Venezuela. So
A lot
You
of
started that
sending me
yesterday.
home to Venezuela.
You
Yeah.
started
A
that
lot of it.
yesterday. Have you ever been to Venezuela? Is the real question. Because
I
by your
have.
accent, I'm not so sure.
That's true. That's a good point. I
Okay.
have zero accent, and I've been told that I, quote, sound very white. I grew up in Virginia, so that
Fair enough.
helps.
Okay.
I went to Venezuela once when I was like 13, and all of my family members there hated me because I was very white at the time too. So,
Well, just know that Venezuela has lots of natural resources, and if they ever get their act together, they can get it out of the ground. You can be the
Well,
guy that fucking leads them, bud. You can
I
be the
could.
guy that leads them.
yeah,
I
believe
have
in you
thought
for
about that.
let that
Thank you.
mustache lead the way, Jose.
I
Let the
think
mustache
so.
lead the way.
And Jose,
I will.
remember, always fuck with your eyes open. Fuck with your eyes open. Don't close them. We're visual beasts. We need to see what we're hitting. Like it.
God bless
When
you.
you're right, you're right. Wow.
God bless you, Jose. The say hey play of the day right there. The first 5 under 5 at minus 114. He's had a wild ride with Eduardo Rodriguez. Sometimes he believes in him. Sometimes he fades him, but he's believing him in here. God bless you and your beautiful mustache, Jose.
I pray for that mustache and that no semen-like substance fucking touches it.
Yeah, no, that's
pray for that.
That's an important prayer.
Yeah.
We have 3,253 tickets in, 60% of the tickets, 64% of the cash on the Boston Red Sox, but we have seen a move towards the Tigers, a 7-cent move at Pinnacle. That is interesting to note. Then we have 60% of the tickets and 56% of the cash on the over. There you go. There you go.
That was enlightening.
We have lots of action on this game. I'm on Tigers first 5 plus 115. Jose's on the first 5 under 5 minus 114 for the say hey play of the day. Rusty Kuntz is on the over 4.5. Taint play of the day's Tigers score first to plus 155. And we haven't asked you what your plan was.
Well, listen, I'm obviously going to tail the taint because I love Lady Taint. It's really fun to put your tongue on and to put some honey on also. You know, honey's good for food and it's good for sexual intimacy. So I'll say this, though. There are 2 Red Sox that do fit the criteria for my hitter prop system, and that is Kike Hernandez and that is Christian Vasquez. Both are hitting over 400 the last 5 games. Both are getting on and not striking out, and they're not hitting for power. So taking single props with them is a more vaunted effort. And I think that, listen, I don't want the Red Sox to win. I want them to lose. I want Big Show's Tigers to keep on killing. And if I were to take a side, Jim, I would take my technology that I have, my cameras and my mics. I would plant one in Connor Mack's brain, and I'd be like, what is Connor Mack doing? What is Connor Mack thinking? Detroit, first 5 money line. Let's fuck with our eyes open.
I like it.
With our eyes open.
I got plus 115 on that Tigers first 5 money line. Lots of action for us in this game at Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan. And much love to our producer on the ones and twos, Jose. Say hey play of the day. Brian Watson says, what's the play on the Minnesota game? Starts in 15 minutes. We opened with that game, and I want nothing to do with it. The Twins and Reds are hitting at a very high rate over the last 30 days. Twins versus righties, Reds versus lefties. Both bullpens are terrible, and I expect both starters to pitch good. So it's just conflicting for me, and I am not making a move on that game. All right, we move on. Next up, we have our man Logan Collins. Logan Collins makes big boy bets. Logan Collins down in Buffalo. He doesn't mess around. He's got 5K on the Marlins at minus 1.5 at plus 275, and he's thinking of putting another K on them at minus 2.5. New York Mets 55 and 51, 22 and 31 on the road at Miami Marlins 46 and 61, 26 and 26 at home. Lone Depot Park in Miami, Florida. And Puzzler says you guys are harsh. I think Jose deserves at least a participation ribbon. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Puzzler. Thank you very much. Viper says the total's gone over in 7 of the New York Mets' last 10 games when playing on the road against Miami. So there's going to be rain in the forecast in Miami, and Boston Nick can verify that right now. We expect the roof to be closed. Carlos Carrasco, Cookie Carrasco. We have Dommy Gun Ricci, our New York Mets expert, expecting a nice start from Carlos Carrasco. His last start, he went 4 innings, allowed 3 hits, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot, 1 walk, 4 Ks, the 6-2 loss at home versus the Reds. Going up against Zach Thompson. Zach Thompson coming off a nice start in a 3-1 loss at home versus the Yankees. It was a nice casher for us. It was Thompson versus Tyon, and Thompson pitched well. 5 2/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 homer, 4 walks, 5 Ks, and 3-1 loss. He's had a really good season so far. 38 2/3, only allowed 3 home runs, 41 Ks, 14 walks, 2.33 ERA, 1.09 WHIP. We had a lot of question marks when they traded away Gallen, and Zach Thompson was clearly the pitcher that they wanted to use. Mets versus righties last 30 days, 243 with a 751 OPS. Marlins versus righties, 250, 728 OPS. Mets bullpen last 30 days, 4.17 ERA, 1.44 WHIP for 8 of 13 save opportunities. Marlins bullpen, 3.44 ERA, 1.28 WHIP, having converted 5 of 10 save opportunities. So here we have Logan Collins, Gas Station Sushi. Lee Shipley comes in and says, Marlins, is it a question? Easy play. All these guys backing the Marlins. I wonder if Dommy Gun is still watching right now. I'd love to hear what Dommy Gun thinks of this spot. Let me set a table for Max. Here we go. Mets, Marlins. Mets open up at minus 159. They're now at minus 147, a 12-cent move towards the fish. This total was at 7.5, juice to the over. It's now juice to the under 7.5. And in my notes, I didn't pull the trigger, but it was first 5 under question mark. Max, take it away. Mets fish.
Yeah, listen, I think that with the Mets, they have everything to lose, and they're blowing it. This is a series that they could have taken advantage and could have padded that division lead. And instead, they're freaking losing to the Marlins, who traded a whole bunch of people. I think that when you look at Zach Thompson, this is a kid that definitely has come out of nowhere and has cost me a bit of money. So I'm not really feeling backing him or backing the Mets. I think that this is a game where I look at one hitter prop, and that is former Blue Jay Dominic Smith. Dom has been playing fantastic. Right now, he's on a 6-game hit streak, 7 hits, no homers, and unfortunately, though, 4 strikeouts. So I could bypass that, but for him to get a single batting in the 5 spot with a New York Met lineup that is now featuring J.D. Davis, Jeff McNeil, Brandon Nimmo, and a hot Pete Alonso, there's got to be someone that a pitcher takes a break off of in the course of going through that lineup, and I'm hoping Dom Smith is that guy today.
Sharpie says, I do not see this Miami spot that everyone is seeing. Eileen, Mets first 5 in full game. Better pitcher, better bats, better pen. Dennis Trusty said, the thing is the Mets are falling in on themselves. I think there should be an overplay or nothing. We go to batter versus pitcher. Only Javi Baez has seen Zach Thompson 0 for 2 against him, and only 10 at-bats against Cookie Carrasco as well, and 2 singles against
Aguilar is the only one that has any at-bats versus him. So
Christopher Carter says, overreaction. Mets should bounce back here. Lost game 1 on 1 bad pitch yesterday. Walker in a bad stretch. No doubt about Walker being in a bad stretch. God, it really upset me that I wasn't a part of that. Lee Shipley says, absolutely, Mets beating themselves. Real Deal Prime has Thompson 1-7 towards the under. Brian Watson says Mets will blow the lead. And Jose says, Phillies to win the NL East, keep your eyes on it. Mets play the Dodgers and Giants 13 times in 2 weeks in the middle of August.
Jim,
yeah.
Is Jose been fucking in the Pub Sports Radio Discord masquerading as someone else listening to how I talk? What are you doing, Jose? I already told people about that.
I don't mean to set you off, and we don't have a ton of time. Actually, we don't need to finish by 1 anymore. I don't mean to set you off here.
Okay, all right, Jose.
But no, there's something else. There's something else that might set you off.
What?
Robert Cherry says honey is sticky and messy.
Listen, Robert Cherry, there's a reason why they don't offer you honey. It's because they don't want you getting hooked on the goodness that is honey. Okay? Watch a video that I'm going to post on my Twitter about some dudes cutting some honey off a fucking beehive. It's beautiful. It makes you want to dip your chicken tenders in it. Don't be worried about the mess. That's why we got fucking wet wipes. Use them.
Yes, Turnsy, I'll go over them in a second. There's our guy Sabino Anguano in the house. Okay, so let's just go over the cash here and decide if there's anything that we want to add here. 2,824 tickets in. So we have 50% of the tickets, 72% of the cash on the Mets, and we have a 7-cent move towards the Marlins. Then we have 61% of the tickets, 70% of the cash on the under. On the under. I wonder if that but it's a really short total. Let's move over to the first five. Yes, Turnsy, I'll go over all that in a second. The total is at 3.5. Open at 4, not 3.5. So I don't want anything to do with that. Interesting. Very interesting. There was so much money in our chat on the Marlins, but the public on the Mets, and the market moving towards the Marlins. And then you have Gas Station, Logan Collins, really strong cappers on the Miami Marlins. Extremely, extremely interesting. So yes, Turnsy, I made 3 bets before coming on to the show. I'm on the first 5 under 4.5 at -120 in Pirates Brewers. I'm on the Nats first 5 at -115 and the Tigers first 5 at +115. And then I also have interest. Oh, I'm moving on the first 5 under 5 in Orioles Yankees. I have interest in the first 5 over 4. It's kind of waning on the first 5 over 4 in the A's game. It's kind of waning. Okay, let's move on to our next spot, Max. We move over to 8:05 p.m. Eastern. LA Angels 53-54, 23-28 on the road at Texas Rangers 39-68, 26-28 home. We're at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. I don't know what's going on with the roof, but I expect it to be open. That heat wave is past Texas. It's not going to be, there's not going to be triple digits. It's going to be pretty nice. 89 Fahrenheit, but I believe it feels like 93 or something like that at first pitch. 8 miles per hour sideways in. Shohei Ohtani, 5-1, 3.04 ERA, 1.13 whip, 80 innings, 100 Ks, 36 walks, 7 home runs. In his last start, he went 7 innings, allowed 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 homer, 5 Ks, and 1 walk, and a 6-2 home win over the Rockies. Going up against Colby Allard, I do not trust him. 2-9, 5.23 ERA, 1.23 whip, 70 Ks and 75 2/3, 14 home runs in those 75 2/3. Lee Shipley says, I love the Angels today. Last start for Colby, he got crushed at home versus the Mariners. 3 innings, 6 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned runs, 1 homer, 3 walks, 3 Ks. Angels in the last 30 days are hitting .252 with a 723 OPS versus lefties. The Rangers versus righties, abysmal. 194, 631 OPS versus righties. Rangers bullpen 3.97 ERA, 1.25 whip, have converted 3 of 5. Angels bullpen 4.66 ERA, 1.43 whip, have converted 6 of 9. Max, interesting spot here. The Rangers aren't hitting, and they aren't playing with any emotion. This total opened up at 4. It's now at 4.5. Full game, we have the Angels opening up at -155. They're now -177. A 22-cent move towards them, and this total sitting at 8. There's been a 2-cent move towards the over. Take it away.
Yeah, listen, I think that with Ohtani on the mound, you got to expect that he's going to turn in a better performance. He's not pitching at Yankee Stadium, so he doesn't have that to worry about. And I think it's important to note that on days that he starts, he does not hit home runs. So taking home run props on a day like today with Ohtani is, in my opinion, futile. I think that when you look at this Los Angeles Angel team, they have some quality hitters that not a lot of people know about. When you're talking about Phil Gosselin, when you're talking about Juan Lagares, when you're talking about David Fletcher, these are the guys that I like to target in the lineup. And I'm looking at getting them all over the place today. I'm looking at Phil Gosselin over half a single at -140. I'm looking at Juan Lagares over 1.5 bases at +155. And I'm looking at David Fletcher over 1.5 bases +100. This has been one of the biggest benefactors of batting in front of Ohtani all year. He's been able to put together a season where he's going to end up with 200 hits. And for a hitter prop guy, that's the best thing that you can find is guys that hit like that. So I'm going to roll with the contact hitters and hope that Ohtani serves up a nice cold bowl of cock soup to those sons of bitches at Globe Park. Because you know what? I miss the old ballpark at Arlington. It was a hitter prop's dream. Now it's just a nightmare.
It is a nightmare, but I would expect the roof to be open. But
we need our resident Texas boys to fucking let us know what the weather's going on down there.
I get a slight plus line. I get like a +102 if I took the Angels first 5 -1. As bad as the Rangers are playing right now, their bullpen is playing pretty well. Viper says total's gone under in 9 of LA Angels' last 10 games on the road. I don't trust Allard. I think the Angels can be up by more than a run, but is that – I don't know. I'd have to run some more numbers. Expecting the Angels to be up 2 runs or more in the first 5 is dangerous. Now, yes, you get the push if they're up 1 run, but it's very, very dangerous.
You don't need to rush yourself. That's the thing. This is a later game. You should take your time with it.
Yeah, but money's just going to continue to pour in on Ohtani. We're paying the Ohtani tax. Viper says Texas 9-4 straight up last 15 games and playing at home against LA. And Trey Doug says, I'm in Texas right now. Weather's cloudy and hot. Yeah, if we could get some info on whether that roof is open, it's. I find that so tricky. Marlins Stadium and also Globe Life to get the information. I guess I certainly lean toward the Angels. We got 3 bets from Gas Station Sushi, the Marlins being one of them and the Cardinals being one of them. We're about to hit that Cardinals game, and let's just move on to the next spot on the card, 8:10 p.m. Eastern. Kansas City Royals 45-60, 17-35 on the road at Chicago White Sox 63-44, 38-18 at home. I don't know. Did I go over the cash in that game? I don't think I did. I'd be curious to see what's going on. So 3,278 tickets in. 84% of the money line tickets on the Angels, 88% of the cash, and then 39% of the tickets on the under and 92% of the cash on the under. Wow. Okay. And Sharpie on Tatum over 13.5 points tonight in the USA game, averaging 16, only had 12 last game and 10 in the second half from our guy, David Sharpie.
Sharpie, you BBW Slayer. Look at you, you D-Gen.
Guaranteed rate field, Chicago, Illinois, 78 Fahrenheit, clear, 5 miles per hour. And I had a really bad read on Carlos Hernandez's last start. I do not believe he doesn't have enough movement on his pitches. And now, when you see a guy come in from the bullpen, a guy who wants to be a starter and struggle, I probably should have said, well, let's wait to see him start. Maybe he needs to start. And he sure looked good in the 5-0 win at home versus the White Sox. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, 4 Ks. You have to think these White Sox were hitting 242 with a 773 OPS versus righties are waiting to see him again. The problem is that with Giolito on the mound, there's the tax. And it's just too expensive to back the White Sox today. 8-7, 3.67 ERA, 1.13 whip for Giolito. His last start was in the 3-2 extra inning loss at the Royals. He went 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk. For this White Sox spot, and then you take it away. We're going to go full game. White Sox Royals, another divisional battle, and we've had Joe Yurkovich tell us all season long the ROI on divisional dogs is unbelievably high, but it takes a lot of balls to bet against a team that's sitting between minus 254 and minus 300 in the books right now. At Pinnacle, opening up minus 236, now minus 259, a 23-cent move towards the White Sox. And this total opened up at 8.5, slightly juiced to the over at minus 112, and now it's at minus 115, a 3-cent move there. Max, take it away. White Sox.
Yeah, this is simply a spot where there's no value on the White Sox at the number that's at now. You got to take it at a alternative total. But the way that I'm looking at it is just Tim Anderson coming off a 3-hit game yesterday. I think that he continues to fuck all over Kansas City's mouth, throwing hot shots like a goddamn gusher in the back of the throat. So I'm taking Tim Anderson over 1.5 bases minus 130. I gave it out on Mike Richards' show this morning with David Bastel. I'm giving it out again here. And I'll also say this. I'm going to one of my normal guys. I got a list of guys that I like to bet on. I like to write them down because I have a stoner's memory, so I forget some of them sometimes. But Nicky Lopez, the Kansas City shortstop, batting at the bottom of the lineup, over 0.5 base minus 130. It's too good to pass up, even against Giolito.
Exciting. So 2 big looks.
Yes, sir.
2 big looks.
Yes, sir. Cock soup serving looks, Jim.
I like it. It's just too expensive to be on the White Sox today. Sharpie says best bet over 4.5 first 5. They just faced each other 5 days ago, and no ways Hernandez is going to do as well as he did last time. You know, I like that look. My concern is what if Giolito runs the board here? Short shot Timmy coming off a huge day. He's on Yankees, Blue Jays, Milwaukee, and Atlanta. Platinum Paul, play of the day. KC Royals team total over 1.5, first 5 minus 115. If Platinum Paul thinks they're going to go over the team total, then I do think the White Sox can get to Carlos Hernandez. What do you think of that first 5 over 4.5?
Hey, listen, I like it, but I'm worried about Giolito being freaking unhittable today. That's what I'm worried about. I'm always worried about Kansas City's bats coming to play when I expect them to. putting together a couple of freaking base hits and then leaving runners on base is the name of their game.
Billy Friedrich saying KC versus Sox games have been very low scoring all season. I think Sharpie's on one here. It's a real simple way of looking at things, but when you face a team 5 days after both pitchers have really nice starts, it never seems to be that they have back-to-back really nice starts.
I think that it works out sometimes to be the opposite, like where a guy dominates and then freaking gets lit up, or vice versa.
Yeah.
I remember Zach Greinke gave up like 9 runs to the Blue Jays in Houston, and then he pitched against them next time out and went 8 freaking scoreless. So
against Carlos Hernandez, 200 with a 488 OPS. But we knew that was going to happen because of the start last game. Against Giolito, 200, 648 OPS. Wow. Yeah.
I like the look, Paul. I like the number, I should say. I just look at the team, and then it makes me second guess it.
4,085 tickets in. We have 45% of the tickets, but just 8% of the cash on the White Sox. Wow. And then 58% of the tickets on the over and just 4% of the cash. 96% of the cash on the under. Oh, that, that real sharp bets have been bet on the under then. And I like Sharpie's bet, but I'm going to just get scared off of this spot. So, all right. And you repeat your 2 spots that you gave out today.
Yeah, Tim Anderson over 1.5 bases -130, and Nicky Lopez over half a base -130.
I like it. Let's move on. 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Our next spot on the board: Atlanta Braves at St. Louis Cardinals. In turns, he says 1-0 Twins already, and Millsy is going to tail Platinum Paul's KC over 1.5 first 5. We have the Braves at Cardinals. Braves 53-54, 26-27 on the road at the Cardinals, 53-53, 30-22 at home. We're at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri, and we get to Gambler's First Glance. Razor sharp picks coming off a big win yesterday with the Twins. He's on the Cardinals at +110 versus the Braves, and Gas Station Sushi also on the Cardinals. Very interesting to see J.A. Happ here. We watched Lester in his first start shit the bed.
Jorge Polanco home run.
Nice work, man.
Nicely done.
Beautiful.
I didn't have the home run, but it's nice that he hit the home run.
Nice work,
nice
Max. Getting the day started. Nice. Lee Shipley says, I have a huge bet on the Braves today. Smiley versus J.A. Happ. So Lester shit the bed yesterday. Will Happ do the same? Smiley, 7-3, 4.40 ERA, 1.39 whip, 83 Ks, 92 innings, 34 walks, 18 home runs. Smiley's last start was not good, and I backed him throughout the year, and I'm not backing him here, and I didn't back him last start. But they won the game 6-3 at the Mets, but he did not look good. He bent but didn't break, 9 hits in 4 innings, 3 earned runs, 1 homer, 1 walk, 6 Ks. J.A. Happ on the other side, terrible numbers, 6.77 ERA, 1.59 whip. 21 home runs allowed, 98 in the third. Last start, he got destroyed. 17-14 loss at home versus Detroit. 3 innings, 10 hits, 9 earned runs, 4 walks, 2 Ks. Braves last 30 days versus lefties, 247, 715 OPS, poor. And worse than them, Cards versus lefties last 30 days, 225 with a 657 OPS. Braves bullpen has been very good, 3.32 ERA, 1.25 whip. And the Cards bullpen has been poor, 4.44 ERA, 1.37 whip. Let's set the table for Max in this spot. Atlanta, St. Louis, this first 5 is sitting at 5, and there's been a 3-cent move to the over. It opened at -118, juiced to the under. It's now juiced under at -115. Full game, money lines and totals. We have this total opening up at 9. There's been a 7-cent move towards the over, and the Braves have gone from -108 to -104, so a 4-cent move towards the Cardinals. Maxie, take it away.
Yeah, listen, I think that with this game, the only thing that I want to look at is the Braves team total if it's 4.5 or better. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what to do. I think that with Happ, obviously has been very good fade material in the American League, but now he's going over to the National League where he does get the pitcher spot to deal with. And when you look at the numbers that Atlanta has against them, while they do have some small sample size success, I don't think that it's relatively recent. So the only player that I could be really looking at confidently right now on Atlanta is Freddie Freeman. He's a single machine. He has a Canadian passport, and he doesn't wear sunglasses when on cam. So I'm totally down with that.
Interesting spot. Smiley, great numbers against these Cardinals. 165, 63 OPS against them. Hap has great numbers against these Braves. 209, 477 OPS. But can you trust what you've seen from Hap lately? This is tricky. Anthony Witherspoon cashing that with you on the Jorge Polanco.
I'll say this though, Jim. With the Atlanta Braves, they're one of the worst run line favorite teams at home. But that number completely flips when they go out on the road. So I do think that this is a winnable game. They must see that the Mets are struggling. If they want to make some freaking move in the standings, they got to win games like this. So you're playing in a comfortable field in St. Louis that is nice for hitters. I got to look at that Atlanta team total over. I got to look at Freddie Freeman.
59% of the tickets, 58% of the cash on those. And when you see gamblers' first glance on a team, you know that the first glance would have led you to the other side. That's the whole idea of that's the premise of his videos.
Yeah.
69% of the tickets on the over, 21% of the cash on the over. So mixed messages here, but one clear message is that sharps think that J.A. Happ is going to have a good start here.
Hey, listen, there's a reason why they're the line movers, but I gotta get the punishment to believe it, you know?
Okay. Look, Lee, I get it. I get the fade of J.A. Happ, but I've got to stick with this plan that if everything doesn't correlate, including where the cash lies, then I'm not going to make a move on it. Gamblers first glance, Cardinals money line at plus 110. Lee Shipley thinking a ton of runs are going to be scored here. He likes the over 14.5 at plus 520. He has a huge bet on the Braves today. Eric Jones joining us. All right. And Braves 4.5 at minus 110.
Yeah, that's a good number. That's good juice. If I see a 5.5, I really step back. I don't have the data in front of me, but I know that those 5.5 team totals have not been profitable if you've been betting them blindly.
Let's move on to 8:40 p.m. Eastern. This was a big mistake from me yesterday. My whole concern about that first 5 under 6.5 was Zach Davies. And he had the Colorado Rockies first 5 or full game, and it's just a mistake. Cubs 51 and 57, 20 and 36 on the road to the Colorado Rockies, 47 and 60, 34 and 20 at home. Coors Field in Denver, Colorado, 86 Fahrenheit clear, 8 miles per hour in. Alec Mills on the bump, 4-4, 4.55 ERA, 1.42 whip, 47 Ks and 63 and a third, 7 home runs allowed, soft tosser. His last start was at home versus the Reds, and I left money on the table, not fading the Cubs in that start. I was worried that he might have a nice home start. He went 6 innings, allowed 9 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 1 homer, but no walks and no strikeouts. And no strikeouts is something you get used to with Alec Mills. Going up against the Gray Wolf, John Gray. 3.62 ERA, 1.22 whip, 104 and a third, 95 Ks, 43 walks, 13 home runs. His last start was nice. It was at the Padres. Marine Layer was in effect, but 6 and a third, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 3 walks, 4 Ks. It was nice. Cubs versus righties, 235, 701 OPS. Rockies versus righties, 243, 705 OPS. Neither team hitting righties. Both bullpens bad. And our guy Diesel Eugene, it says, today's pitcher for the Rangers is another Orange County guy. I expect he plays well against the Angels today. And that angle Diesel Eugene has been so sharp with, and it's been working. A very interesting look, and makes me thankful that I'm not on that game when I hear that, Diesel. Interesting. Okay, so here we go. Cubs, Rockies. Let's set the table for Max and see how he moves with this. This total opened at 11, juiced to the over. It's now slightly juiced to the under. The Rockies open up minus 161. They're now minus 166, a 5-cent move towards them. And I think there's a big difference between two clubs. One team kept their best player and is going to build around him. The other team traded away their best players. And, you know, there has to be some positivity here with the Colorado Rockies. Max, take it away, Cubs, Rockies.
Yeah, listen, I think that with the Rockies at home, what's been working is taking them on the money line and taking them minus 1.5. We've seen how they performed on the road. We know the road and home splits. They don't seem to really be evening out as of yet. And I'm just going to keep it simple, keep it short and simple. When it comes to hitter props, I got 3 or 4 pretty drastic props I'm going to be going with tonight. I'm going to be taking 2 stolen base guys on Colorado. Ramil Tapia and Trevor Story are both borderline 20 stolen base guys on the year, and at plus 575 and plus 330, your ROI, even if you win 1 out of every 3, is still going to be good. And with Tapia, he's a guy that I like to hit doubles, so I'm going to take him also plus 285 to hit 1 double, and that's on Bet365. You can get that. For a home run prop, I'm going to go with a guy that's cashed a couple times for me, and that is catcher Elias Diaz. At plus 650, this is a guy that has stepped up for his pitcher. I prefer to back him on a home run prop when Marquez is on the mound, but on for this catcher even more. He's a home pitcher. I think that Diaz comes through and hits us a nice plus 650 tonight.
He had a monster bomb last night as well, so he's got to be feeling good about himself. I like that look. Makes sense. I'm going to take a look quickly. I'm starting to think that the Rockies are the play. I would like to look at the cash. Before I do so, I would like to look at the John Gray splits. John Gray, by the way, they're 1 for 15 against John Gray, these Cubbies bats. And Elias Diaz, the only person who's seen Alex Mills. So let's take a look at this splits from John Gray here quickly. Actually, I would be curious to see Alec Mills splits. I have this feeling, and maybe it's just like a vividness thing, but these soft tossers get hurt in Colorado, and we just saw there's not that much difference between Alec Mills and Zach Davies, and they just saw Zach Davies. It makes me think that maybe they attack Alec Mills the same way.
Also, Colorado hits curveballs, so you try and leave something hanging over the plate and you don't locate it right. Like, there's a bunch of guys that have the kind of swings that will put it over. Sam Hilliard, CJ Cron, Charlie Blackmon. Like, they all pound off speed. So
look at Johnny Gray's numbers at home too. He's 5-2 with a 3.14 ERA, and opponents batting 169 against him. 169.
Doesn't happen to be a contract year for him, does it?
Offhand, I don't know.
It makes sense if we're getting that performance.
Ooh-wee. JT says, great pick on Tapia. He is a good leadoff hitter. Turnsey on the under 10.5 live in the Minnesota game. Lee Shibley says, Cubs are just done this year. Rockies are too strong to pass up. Maybe alternate run line. Does feel like a Rocky spot. It does feel like a Rocky spot. Okay, let's see if the cash goes with us and we can have everything. 1,581 tickets in. 75% of the tickets, 74% of the cash on the Rockies. Then you have 50% of the tickets and 91% of the cash on the over, which is interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm moving. It might be a double dip spot, and I say that because the Cubs bullpen is falling apart. Their offense looks very weak, and yes, Jose is unrestricted free agent next year. Good point. Rockies bullpen is being better, quite a bit better than the Cubs bullpen. Gerald Jones says Rockies all day, Cubs terrible on the road. All 3 big bats gone from the Cubs. Makes me think that I should add the Rockies. I didn't know John Gray splits, but like that. While I'm doing it, just to have to see Alec Mills' splits. Let's quickly just jump at Alex Mills' splits, and then we will move on. We got 2 games left on the card. We move over to Mills and see what he's got. Splits for Alec Mills. Tell me that they're ugly, bro. And we'll see also if he's pitched at Coors this year. Yes, 5.93 ERA on the road, 289 opponents batting average. Has he faced Colorado? Hasn't faced Colorado this year, so no information there. Okay. And Noli going Cubs, Rockies, first 5 under 6. So expecting nice performances from both guys here on the card. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on Pub Sports Radio. Get to be in the abode of Maxwell Smart, the cupcake factory here. Thank you for having me, Max, my man.
It's always a pleasure, Jim.
Astros, 65 42, 30 on the red, 64 and 44, 33 and 19 at home. When Sharpie made that point yesterday about, how Dodgers fan watches every game and he's on the Astros here, and Pistol Pete made the point saying that that's what I look for, when a fan is on the other side of the team. At that point, I should have just, bet off, taking the other side. And it really hurt me believing in Walker Buehler. And it wasn't Buehler's fault. McCullers having such a good start. Seeing Sharpie on the McCullers over 6.5 Ks, that should have told me that if I believe in Walker Buehler, Sharpie believes in the Astros and McCullers, then I should be on the first 5 under.
I'll say this, that maybe you'll find some solace in it. A day after Dodger hitters get freaking put out and they don't get going, you know what they do. They smash and mash like I'm at a freaking local strip club, touching strippers' asses.
Yeah, it's a tonic.
Well, I
It's
put a
tonic.
$5 bill in their thong after I touched their ass.
Sure, as you should. That's how a gentleman would handle it.
Not a 10 though.
Dodger Stadium, LA, California, 85 Fahrenheit, clear, 7 miles per hour out to right center. And yes, Trusty, I will be on Razor Sharp Picks Horse Show this evening. I'm very excited about
What
being on it.
alcoholic beverage will you be consuming on that?
Kraken. Although, see, Max is a fine bourbon drinker, and it's just out of my league, man. It's out of my league.
Well, listen, I admire the Kraken bottle because it is a good weapon after you drank out of it. You know,
Yeah, it
I
is,
always
it is.
like a good fucking blunt object. I'm not the best fighter with my hands, so I like to use a weapon.
Yes, no, I get it. Well, I'm not in Costa Rica anymore, so I don't need to worry about
All right,
that
well,
as much.
I'm a Chelsea fan, so I deal with Manchester United fans, Man City fans, Liverpool fans, Arsenal fans, Tottenham fans, and they're all Muppets.
Sharpie says I'm on Dodgers run line. This is the perfect spot. Max just spoke it. The O was the best thing to happen for the Dodgers today. The 0. Interesting. Odorizzi versus Scherzer. Odorizzi 4-5, 4.30 ERA, 1.14 WHIP, 16 2/3, 54 Ks, 19 walks, 9 homers. Last start 5 1/3, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 1 walk, 3 Ks, and 11-4 win at the Mariners. Scherzer's first start as a Dodger, and the Dodgers have been hitting righties last 30 days. 260, 768 OPS. Astros just 242, 741 OPS. I think that hearing Sharpie on the other side and trusting Scherzer is a nice thing to do. Let's take a look at the market and then hear what Max has to say about it. Here we go. In this spot, we have the Dodgers opening up at 197. They're now minus 206. So a 9-cent move towards them. This total's gone from 8.5 to 9. Take it away, Max.
Yeah, listen, I think that with the Houston Astros, you guys know me. I'm a big Jose Altuve guy. I love that he's the best cheating second baseman in America, and he's only 5'6", and he's from Jose's country in Venezuela. So there's like nothing wrong with that. I think that over half a run and over half a single at plus 120 and plus 125 respectively are good numbers against Max Scherzer. Jose Altuve's never faced him, so I do expect him to have the advantage. When it comes to the Dodgers, obviously I can get on the whole goddamn Dodger lineup, whether it be Mookie Betts, Max Muncy, Justin Turner, but I will narrow in on a guy who has managed to stay healthy for a good portion of the season, a guy who gets forgotten about. His name is AJ Pollock, and he is no Cuck Association president of Los Angeles. He fucks with his eyes open, and at plus 110 for over half a single on Bet365, that is a bet that you best know that I signed up for. I'm going to get some chocha. It's going to be good.
Sounds good.
I'm going to be playing softball while it happens. I'm fucking my eyes open on the field. His eyes open on the field, and we'd be getting some money so I can spend it on hose.
Odorizzi against only 4 Dodgers who've seen him they're hitting 200 with a 569 OPS. So Mookie Betts 8 for 30 with 3 doubles. He's the only one with an extra base hit against Odorizzi. Against Scherzer, 250, 741 OPS, but it does feel like it's Max time, doesn't it? Feel like it's Max time. It just does. Okay, let's see where the cash lies here. So we've seen a 9-cent move towards the Dodgers. 44% of the tickets on the Dodgers, but 61% of the cash. And then, sorry, that was wrong. That was, 61% of the tickets on the Dodgers, 84% of the cash, 55% of the tickets on the under, and 87% of the cash as well on the under. Very, very interesting spot.
And Sharpie's saying that he likes the Dodgers to score first at even money. That's a good number. It's always a good number. It's even money.
Oh, that's a great idea because you just know that Max is going to be so fired up. That front of the Astros lineup is so dangerous.
Damn straight, Mills. Blood in, blood out. It's one of my favorite movies. Obviously, American Me also is up there.
Dodgers score first might be a brilliant way of handling this. Really,
Hey,
really
like Pete says, trust the fans that watch every game, you know? And that's one right there. And a bonus is that he fucks BBWs.
Yeah, it's a huge bonus. I wonder at what price. So if I did move with the Dodgers, if I did do that, I would have to pay a hefty price. Let me just see what the -1 would be, and then we'll break down this very final game. -220 and -105. So -220 and -105.
Sharpie's like,
-160.
you say the money's on the under, but the line's moved up.
The total has gone from 8.5 to 9, and we have 54% of the tickets and 85% of the cash on the under. The question is, though, Sharpie, did that cash come in? Did it come in when it was at 8.5 or at 9? And without knowing that, it may you wanna never leave. Okay.
As long as they accept my monopoly colored money from Canada and they don't make me freaking dip my chicken tenders in honey mustard, I won't leave.
And we don't know if you'll never leave because you love it or because you're being held hostage. So we don't know.
As long as if I'm being held hostage and I'm fed and then I'm also having fluids extracted, I can live with that.
That's not how being held hostage usually works.
Well,
you're not getting steak dinners and getting blown.
That's not fair. That's not right then.
We move on to the last game on the card, 9:40 p.m. Eastern, and the San Francisco Giants, 67-40, 32-23 on the road to Arizona Diamondbacks, 34-74, 21-33 at home. Chase Field, Phoenix, Arizona. Roof will be closed. It's ridiculously hot there. Opening pitch is like 113. Spreadsheet play of the day from Ron Crawford is the San Francisco Giants -1. We have Gausman going up against Zach Gallen. Gausman 9-5, 2.35 ERA, 0.95 WHIP, 126 in the third, 149 Ks, 39 walks, 12 homers. Something does not look right with him in the last two starts. There was some issues around a pregnancy. I believe everything is fine, but it took him out of his routine, and I don't know. I mean, he looked like the Cy Young winner until his last couple starts. He was at home versus the Astros. The Astros are a very tough hitting team. They got to him for 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 homer, 2 walks, 9 Ks, and a 9-6 loss. Zach Gallen on the other side, 6-5 extra inning win at home versus the Dodgers. I cashed the first 5 in that game. Gallen 1-5, 4.61 ERA, 1.36 WHIP, 56 2/3, 69 Ks, 27 walks, 8 homers. He had really good numbers against the Dodgers. We'll see if he also has them against the Giants. Giants versus righties last 30 days, raking 252, 812 OPS. Diamondbacks versus righties, 231, 698 OPS. And the Giants bullpen, 2.25 or 2.414 to be exact, but 2.14 runs better per 9 is the Giants bullpen. So much better than Diamondbacks bullpen. Sharpie says I'm on Giants first 5 -1/2. Love the fact San Francisco didn't score much yesterday. Gallen good for 2 runs minimum. All right, take it away, Maxwell. Let me give you a market to work with in this Giants game. We have the Giants opening up at -170. They're now -177, and his total has gone from 8.5 to 9. Take it away.
Yeah, I agree with Sharpie. After that performance yesterday, that was a spot that I had San Francisco first 5 circled as a play-on spot. I'll go back to it today, tailing my guy Sharpie. And I'll say this also, when it comes to hitter props, Donovan Solano, doesn't matter if he's batting freaking at the top of the line, the bottom of the line, the guy's been getting on base and getting hits and cashing tickets. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at Yastrzemski also, who has very good numbers against Gallen. I think he's 4 for 11, so not the biggest sample size, but still worthy considering what he's been doing the last week. And like I've been telling people in the Pub Sports Radio Discord, which if you aren't part of, you should be joining, that this Arizona field, Chase Field, is just a place for offenses to sort themselves out and get back in the flow of scoring runs. I think San Francisco will do that today.
I wonder if that makes Gausman vulnerable as well. I don't know what to make of him. He's been so good this year, but obviously on a tough streak right now. And I kind of like Zach Gallen, but he's 254, 794 OPS against them, and against Gausman, 211 with a 605 OPS. Let's see where the cash lies in this spot here. We have 4,249 tickets in, 83% of the cash, 86% of the tickets on the Giants, but just a 7-cent move at Pinnacle. That's strange. 37% of the tickets on the under and 89% of the cash on the under. It's a lot of money on the under, but again, when did it come in, at 8.5 or at 9? Because we know that the line's gone from 8.5 to 9. So it's a tricky spot. I don't know what we're going to get out of Gausman. I don't want to fade the Giants offense, so I'm not going to be making a move on this spot.
Well, maybe you look at a team total first 5 with San Fran. You know, you're not going to get a 3.5 in this game with that number and that total.
No, you're absolutely right. You're going to get a 2.5. But I mean, I love Gallen's last start against the Dodgers. Now he had great numbers against the Dodgers, so it's more expected. This one, this makes me uncomfortable. This game makes me uncomfortable. I don't know what to get out of Gausman. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Arizona was
I personally think that Gossman shuts them down tonight. I think that Zach Allen is the one that gets affected. I think coming off such a brilliant performance against the Dodgers, like you mentioned, is going to be what plays against them.
A lot of people are talking hostage scenarios.
Hey,
Yeah,
listen, I'm taking the lady of the night and the chicken tender. Sorry, Jim.
Oh, no.
You're not surviving.
Oh, no, I'm not surviving.
We can make a case that you have more to live for as you have dependents, but we live in a fucking selfish me first society. So.
No taking. No taking, man. This could come up. Okay, here we go. It's been a good season, and I'm coming off the worst day of the year. I'm really thankful to get to spend this day sitting beside Maxwell Smart here. So thank you so much for having me. It really got me out of the doldrums. I was I didn't sleep last night. I was just, God, it was rough. It was rough because I was in such a good place. And now I basically have 48 hours to fix it. Now, again, I'm just 25% in and out. So I don't need to get that in my head. And I'm in and out every Friday. So I have 48 hours to fix it. I'm not going to force that shit.
Jim, you came to the right place. All right. You got this chat with these OGs in there feeding us information, telling us what they're on. You are a fucking skilled fucking capper, host, content creator. I believe in you, motherfucker. I believe in you like I believe in fucking a designer cupcake for $12 and a lady tonight that charges $350 just to have sex with her.
That means the world. All right. I like it. Let's review action right now, Max. I'm going to review mine. Do you have all because you made a bunch of different spots.
Yeah, you're going to literally you're going to have to go playback.
Playback, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can give you obviously like my top favorite ones.
Yeah, I'm going to do mine.
Yeah.
Why don't you think of your top favorite ones right now? This is action on our show. I'm already on the first 5 under 4.5 minus 120 in Pittsburgh at Milwaukee. It had moved at to 4 at a couple books. I have some interest in the first 5 over 4 in San Diego, Oakland. Probably not going to pull the trigger at this point. I am going to add the first 5 under 5 in Orioles, Yankees. I'm already on the Nats first 5 minus 115. Real deal prime is in tears. He says, what a speech.
Hey, listen, he's a fellow Canadian, a Newfoundland freaking resident, and we respect him. We respect coast to coast.
Absolutely.
Damn straight.
We have the Rusty Kuntz play of the day is on Vladdy Guerrero Jr. over 1.5 bases at minus 118. I'm not on the Indians Blue Jays game, but my eye test said bet the over, but market moving to the under, and the stats kind of following that. Then we have a ton of action on Red Sox Tigers. I'm on the Tigers first 5 plus 115. Jose Seje play of the day is on the first 5 under 5 at minus 114. The Rusty Kuntz play of the day was going to be the first 5 over 4.5, but that moved to 5. So when that moved to 5, Jose went on the first 5 under 5, and our man Turnsey didn't want to give out a stale line. Taint play of the day. Tigers score first at plus 155. So a ton of action for us in that game. Then we have the Marlins spot. A lot of sharps on the Marlins today. Logan Collins, gas station sushi on the Marlins. I'm off Mets Marlins. Then the Angels first 5 minus 1 at a slight plus number is interesting to me. And I was going to move on it. Diesel talked about Colby Allard being an Orange County guy. I would think that would play a bigger role if it was actually, at Angel Stadium. I do not trust Colby Allard, and the Rangers bullpen is much better than Angels bullpen. Royals, White Sox, I'm off. Razor sharp picks, Gamblers first glance, Cardinals money line at plus 110. Gas station also on that. I am doubling up on the Rockies first 5 in full game. I'm surprised I didn't notice that first. I think Sharpie has a great idea on the Dodgers scoring first. I think that's a really nice look, and that's at even money, which is a really nice score. And also, did I mention I haven't got to Sharpie's. That was early, right? Sharpie's dirty K prop of the day is Joey Musgrove. There it is. Over 5.5 Ks at minus 104. Thank you. Over 5.5 Ks at minus 104. So then I'm going to double up on the Rockies. I think the Dodgers score first makes a ton of sense, and I may add to that bet. I'm not sure. And that's it for me. Ron Crawford, spreadsheet play today, San Francisco Giants. What are your favorite looks on this card?
Yeah, my favorite looks on the card is AJ Pollock over half a single at plus 110. Then I also like George Springer over 1.5 bases plus 100. And then lastly, but not least, I like Ramil Tapia over half a stolen base plus 575.
Man, I love this so much. I love this so much. I love getting a chance to hang out with Max for the day. I love capping with all you guys. Big shout out to all you guys. Nathan Cerna, JT, Razor, Brian Watson, Rem Most, Diesel Eugene, Mike M, Millsy, Crystal Warren, Brian Watson, Sharpie, Guapo Man with a great guest spot, Juan Ruiz, the Sweaty Butcher, North Ender, Robert Cherry is on Gallon and Gaussman over 6.5 Ks. And first 5 under 4.5. Wow. That's very, very interesting. Real Deal Prime, Turnsy, Pole Buddies Nerfic, Dennis Trusty, Mr. Gokster. Don't forget the golf show at 3 p.m. Eastern. Golf show today, 3 p.m. Eastern. And then you have Babano and C-Mac at 4 p.m. Eastern. And Razor Sharp Picks horse racing show. As soon as I get the kids to bed, I'm going to be jumping on that for at least the last 5 races at Assiniboia. Max, my man, you want to put a bow on this show and let you ass out of here?
Yeah, listen, guys. Fuck with your eyes open. Dip your fucking chicken tenders in honey, not honey mustard, like our boy Boca Nick does. And look out for the fucking short series about a story of a man from Boston that went to Boca and lived his life. The story of Boston Nick by Maxwell Smart.
Ooh, I didn't know
Damn
you were,
straight.
Didn't know you were right.
Yeah. That's why I've been in the Discord all those hours watching Nick, making notes, learning things.
Crystal Warren.
There's going to be fucking in the closet that people can watch. There's going to be all kinds of type of shit. It's going to be great.
I didn't know you were spending your life writing his story, his tale. Have you got a title? What's the title for it?
Well, the story of a man from Boston to Boca.
From Boston to Boca.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's Nicky Fish Tanks.
Yeah, it's gonna be classic. He isn't gonna like it, but everybody else will.
I love that. Oh, and Razor Sharp Pick says Sarge from TVG will be joining the cast tonight, and Crystal Warren says hit the like on the way out for these hostages. Can you give us a leche before we?
All right, ladies and gents, D-gens, and fucking stripper supporters, leche a most bookmaker.